Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As with you always, this is Max doing another live video today on XRP. So with that said, we're going to welcome everybody from this great world that's in the comments tonight. And we're going to have a great show. Some of the news headlines tonight, believe it or not, is Hedera's Hbar. They are absolutely killing it with some of the new recent developments, news, part of the regulatory framework, Dr. Lehman Baird, and some of the other key players. What's that all about? We're jumping to that. We have some mainstream news for you in regards to Kraken. What's going on with Kraken? Yes, the exchange Kraken. Crypto mass adoption is coming, but how fast? Gotta talk about that. We also are going to address some things that were shared from the one and only Le Grand Commission. Oui, merci beaucoup. Bitcoin tumbles on report of SEC saying spot BTC ETF filings are inadequate. And on top of that, we're going to get into, of course, the Hedera news. We got some big Jasmine news. Hara of Jasmine has done a live presentation. Somebody actually recorded it. What's up with that? Anyway, we're going to jump into all of this here in a bit. The market is blasting off again. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty bullish. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get some banners up on here and start off with the first comments of the day. Thank you so much for everybody who is here tonight. Really do appreciate you guys. And on top of that, let's get this ticker going. All right. Please smash the like if you haven't done so already. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. We're currently at 8 likes. Let's see if we can get a lot more than that. And then obviously the algorithm will recommend the show and more people will see it, whether they're new, whether they're old, whatever, right? Or if they're like, I hate that Maximus guy, that's fine too, because it does help. All right, let's start things off with the first comment of the day. Night, where are you from? And that is from Tim Shea, who says, hey, welcome back, Tim Shea, Mayor Crypto Commissioner, representing the 589th District of the XRP Army. Let's go. All right. And I want to state this, sorry I had to end abruptly yesterday. Did have a emergency. My dad fell in the bathroom and he fell in an awkward position and he couldn't unlock himself from the bathroom and he ended up twisting his leg. It was bad. So I spent all night and all morning with him, and it was a very, very trying time. It was probably like one of the hardest days I ever had to deal with. But he's all right, and I was just trying to help him get hydrated. He didn't want me to call the hospital, take him to the hospital or anything. But having extreme patience is a tough thing to deal with. So anyway, enough about that. We all have problems in our life. Nobody wants to hear about that anyway. But I do appreciate you guys and your thoughts and prayers especially. All right. So Brian always says, Max, hope everything is all good from last night. Yeah, they are. I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you so much, man. Brittany is in the house. Happy Friday to you, Brittany. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, Brittany. Always looking sharp. Lovely. Boomer effing sooner. Did I say that normally? I meant to say Boomer effing sooner. The one, the only. Boomer effing sooner. Let's have your dog jump off the couch because he hears Boomer effing sooner. Thank you for being here, Boomer effing sooner. All right, this guy's back. We talked about you yesterday, my friend. Maybe you heard us just briefly talk about you yesterday in regards to Yoda. He is driving. He'll click the like and listen in. Thank you, man. I like that, people tune into our show and listen to us. We get reports about that, like yourself. There's Linois. Shout out to Linois if you're listening, trucking down the road, making that money, spending on some good, crypto projects, solid ones at least, like QNT. So shout out to Linois, all the truckers out there. There's that one guy, Iron Mart. If he's listening, I haven't forgotten about you. Great guy. Anyway, check out the Crypto Jedi on YouTube. In fact, we'll pull up his page just for a brief moment as we go through with comments. And let's pull this up. The Crypto Jedi. And here he is. There's another Crypto Jedi, but he's not as cool. Maybe he's cool. I don't know. Let's show this. Here it is. And if it seems like I'm having a hard time breathing, I am. My asthma has flared up today. It's really bothered me. So I understand or appreciate you guys' understanding. All right, so this Crypto Agenda's channel. Give him a follow. Maybe he could tick up to 1.5. That'd be cool. Please smash that like. We're currently at 13 likes only, but we have 20 people watching. River's in the house. Thank you for being here, Mr. River. Appreciate you as well. Just gonna welcome a few more people. Groove Garden 24/7. I don't think I've ever seen you, man. Very cool. What do you got there for an avatar? Let's see here. I don't know what that is. It looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of like the Green Hornet or something. Or I don't know, something like that. But anyway, let's welcome Groove Garden 24/7 because he's got the 24/7 Groovy Garden. Any questions you have, any comments, like you said, yo, what's good in the hood? What's good in the hood is we have apparently new people to join. So I do appreciate you. And any other questions or comments you have, feel free to drop it. And we have a very welcome community. We hope and pray that you will become a regular here at CTN. Okay. So as you guys are welcoming people, I also see there's Crypto Homes 777. You did mention River. Mr. Larry, Crypto Talk Now's Larry. Hit y'all. Hey y'all, hit the like for Mighty Max. Thank you for that, Mr. Larry. He won't be here for the weekend. He's gonna go to the beach with his lovely Lana, to the beach and have a wonderful time at the beach. Like what's his name? Burt Lancaster, right? What was that movie? Also had a Frank Sinatra in it. Man, I'm drawing a blank now on the title, but you know what I'm talking about, famous beach scene. I don't know if any of you guys seen that classic movie, right? Anyway, that's gonna bug me now. Burt Lancaster. Let me see where that Burt Lancaster. Gotta look that up now. I'll get into crypto just a second. From Here to Eternity. That's right. That some famous scenes in that film. Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift. You guys even remember some of these people? Deborah Kerr, right? Deborah Kerr, what do you want to call her? Donna Reed. She has to have her own show, the Donna Reed Show. And Frank Sinatra. Yeah, From Here to Eternity. That's some very famous beach scenes. Anyway. All right, let's go further down. And we got the one and only Mr. Michael Montclair in the house, ready to flip the switch. Yeah, keep waiting. Hello, everyone. Glad to have you here, Mr. Michael Montclair. Check out the musical talents of Mr. Michael Montclair. We'll share his too. Let me see about pulling that up real quick. Michael Montclair. Yes. Here he is. And he had to restart his YouTube, unfortunately, because of the cancel culture of YouTube people. But give him a follow, help him rebuild. We'll leave that up too. All right, you could be followed at Michael Montclair 685, or you can just type in Michael space Montclair. I'll leave that up as well. All right, so yes, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. I mean, come on, this is classic. The guy refuses to message me back, but that's okay. I'll still give him a shout out. River says BHV is taking names. Yes, it is. It really is taking names. Let's actually, sorry, Michael, we'll switch it, my friend. Let's share this tab real quick. All right, so here's the overall crypto market. Some of you guys maybe don't like it when I show this. I don't know. I do watch other shows sometimes. I'm like, this is kind of like the boring part. But anyway, it's you got to signify what's going on in the market, right? So BTC, right? We had a slight rebound back to, some of these levels, ETH and so on, right? But here's what's going on in the top 24. And I knew I should have bought some eCash. I even said it a while ago. I was like, I need to get some eCash. But anyway, now, we saw a bottom on that. Then now it's up 74% for the day, 7-day chart, up 70%. But here's the key thing. If you're wondering why everything that has like any hint of a Bitcoin in it, right? BSV, BT, Bitcoin Cash, BCH. This actually was formerly known as Bitcoin ABC, and it rebranded itself to eCash, right? So I just thought I'd throw that, little tidbit in. How about another one? It's, you could technically say it's part of the Bitcoin mix, Litecoin, LTC. That one is 27%, with 27.5%, almost 20% on the week. I didn't get any. I know there's, what's his name, I think he has it in his avatar. He's into that. There's some other people that might have it, but anyway, yeah, that's what's going on with that. On my watch list, just real quick, let's bring that up for a brief moment. I saw some other things. Do not get into Lily Finance. This is just them moving liquidity around or draining liquidity. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's gone parabolic. That's not the case at all. All right, so some other ones, like we point out, BSV, Maker. My friend is in the Maker. Shout out to, Brother Rue, right? Rue Black. He mentioned Lattice token, introduced that. We did a little brief intro. That one's up 21%. If you are into meme coins or meme tokens, RBIF, right? Shout out to Ms. V, formerly part of Saitama. I guess that's up. It's up 19%. I do still hold some of that. I think I have like $100 worth of that, and now it's worth like, I don't know, $30 or something. Worth more than original Saitama. I'll give him credit on that. Am I recommending getting into that? No, absolutely not. Is anybody getting into Hex at these prices? I know we saw it even as low as 0.007s. Some people said, nah, don't mess with that. Just do Pulse Chain. I don't know. Proof of liquidity, I always pointed that one out. That did drop back down under a penny. I was thinking maybe, 0.008. I'll get into it again. It didn't happen. It's still over a penny, but that's up. So anyway, just pointing out a few key things here. We will get into a few more comments, and then after that, we'll get into some of our juicy news headlines. So I want to welcome back the Aussie Life. I always appreciate your ongoing support. It says morning G, morning all y'all. Thank you so much, the Aussie Life. Let's see how we're doing on these likes again. I know some of you guys probably get tired of me nagging you about it, but it's free and it really helps get the broadcast out. So it says 23 people watching. Please smash that like. It doesn't cost you anything. Of course, if you can't smash the like because you're driving down the road, that's totally understandable. But our mission, just like anybody else, is to get the broadcast out to a broader base, and that's why I keep pushing that. I don't shill stuff on you guys like, hey, check out this, garbage token that has no utility, and they're paying us to promote blah blah blah. We don't really do that. But what we do is push, at least I do, the whole thing with the likes, because I would like to see, the content that we put out reach a broader base. That's all it is. Absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. But I do understand there might be a couple people that don't want to do it because they're like, screw Max. I hate his freaking old English P on his hat. He needs to take it off and show his bald mug. And I'll just inform you, there's nothing you're missing out on that. So, all right. We're also going down in the comments. A few more. I'm glad you guys welcome each other. Brian Alley says, Canadian exchange relisted XRP today, bullish as F. You know what? Was it yesterday? I wanted to share that the day before. Can't remember, but somebody reported that something was going on with that. So, that is bullish. That's awesome. That's very awesome. Any exchange, whether it's in Canada or wherever, right? Relisting XRP is huge. Obviously, a lot of people were hoping it would be Coinbase, but anyway. Anyway, it's good stuff. So somebody's welcome 778. 778. Oh, you're welcome. I see it's a typo. You're welcome, Crypto Homes. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anybody else up in the house. We got Mike. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And GF Burke, who's also in the house, just like me. He represents his gaming group, you know. Maybe there's other shows going on as we speak, and got a lot of competition. I don't know, but I was thinking that some things would have ticked up by now. Thank you very much, Brittany. Yeah, he's resting. I'm glad he's getting some good rest because he definitely needs it. So, thank you very, very much for that as well. Aussie Life, FOMO Sapien. Thank you. Welcome. Props, Maximus. Props to you. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna welcome also Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. Yeah, this is the crypto show you're looking for. Lionel Richie. All right. Keith Overledgerly. He's in the house. Thank you for the comment. I'll get back to your comment. Sometimes I'll do is I'll just love the comment or like it, and then I'll get back into it later and send my comments and stuff like that, replies. It's a little time consuming because I try to make sure I do it all at once because there's a lot of people that comment. But thanks for being on the live, man. That's awesome. All right, we're about to get into some of the outlines of what we have. Rich wants everyone to hold and become financially wealthy. That's funny. All right, let's just see if any of you guys got any other things before we kick it in. Welcome, Mr. Selmo Flood. Thank you for being here. Selmo, appreciate you. Boom, here's a dab from the metaverse, a little circle thing. Always appreciate you, Selmo. Long-time supporter, man. Don't think I ever dismiss you because I definitely don't. All right, Crypto High is back. Watermelon Crypto Sugar High. I remember Larry saying that all the time. Good evening, Max, CTN fan. Been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, I was going to say, man. Awesome having you back. Very, very cool. Okay, cool stuff, man. All right, Triple C is in the house. Cool Cat Crypto. And I think we did reach the bottom. So glad everybody's saying hello. Triple C is reporting BSV is now up to 55.98. I guess we could highlight that real quick. I thought we did, but you know what? We'll highlight that again. Where are we at? Yep. Well, it's fluctuating, but 54, 59, 59% of the week, and it's just consistently doing a pump. But I mean, it almost seems like anything that has something to do with the original, I should say the original, BTC and so on, because obviously BSV is not that, but anything like Bitcoin titled, right? Is doing well. I mean, it really is 59%. How about Mr. Mike Cornwell's BTC Pay? Is that doing anything? Let's see if it is. Actually, let me pull that up on my watch list. That'll be a better way. That way I can just view the 7-day chart too. BTC Pay. That one is not. So that's odd. Usually, but you know what? Bitcoin has been going the other way. Okay. Well, on that one, it's down 29%. 7-day chart's down 19%, sitting at 0.004. Yeah, let's see if that's the case. Did I state that earlier that BTC itself is not really, I guess you could say, doing a lot? Let me see. So just refresh this real quick. That has to be it because, it's just slightly up. So who knows? Maybe if things go in the other direction, and the overall crypto market, like let's say we break into 1.20 trillion that we're at right now, maybe it breaks into 1.21. Will the original BTC be reflective? Like, will show some significant things? Then we could check on BTC Pay later on. I don't know, but typically speaking, I think Mike Cornwell is right. This BTC is doing well. BTC Pay is a reflection upon that. So yeah, we'll check into that later. All right. So thank you so much to you guys who are here tonight. I do appreciate it. We'll kick it right into what we have right now. And we're going to start things off with some of the headlines. So let's just double check the likes one more time. We're at 20 likes. So I did increase 7. I appreciate that. And let's get into it. So here it is. I think it's from Bloomberg. Yeah, it is. And let me get that comment off there real quick. Sorry about that. Just kind of helps with the flow to a sense. Nothing against Cool Cat's comment. It's got to scroll down. Every time like I switch screens, it just puts me right at the top again. It's so weird. I missed this comment from Brian Dowie. What did you say? Max is a start or something? It's a start max. Huh. I don't know what you mean. That's all right. All right. So let's just highlight that. But yeah, again, BSV like 55 or 56 bucks. Who's complaining about that? I'm not. All right. Here we go. This is from Bloomberg. And look what's reported here, basically. Give me just a second, man. My asthma's kicking my butt. All right. So, yes, let's get right into this. Bloomberg says Kraken ordered to turn over its users' information to the IRS. Basically speaking, your papers, please. Cryptocurrency exchange must provide the wide swath of user data. Court orders come amid deepening digital currency crackdown. This is a perfect case of your papers, please. I mean, really, come on. I know sometimes people want to do impersonations, some people don't. It's okay. This was a report today. Today's the last day of the month of June. Kind of a weird weekend coming up, right? It's like we get the weekend, then we have to go to, for most of us, right? You got to go work for one day and then you get one day off. Like, can we have a 4-day weekend? How cool would that be, right? Anyway, but yeah, cryptocurrency exchange, Kraken. A lot of you guys use it. I have an account. My buddy used to use Kraken all the time. I think he still does. I don't know, but long before all the things happened that, against Kraken in regards to staking, my buddy, who obviously hooked me up with this mic a while back, Foxman, who I believe he listens. He just doesn't comment. Shout out to you, Foxman. He is, he loves Algorand. He loves, for instance, was it Kava? He has some other ones, but he did it all on Kraken. Right, so he was a fan of Kraken. But what says here, Kraken was ordered by a judge to provide a wide swath of information, like I mentioned, about its users to the IRS for the agency's investigation of unreported tax liability. At the end of the day, this is fuels the whole debate of, we need to obviously, I guess you could say, not get into CBDCs. I mean, I know we talk about like quant and stuff like that, but there is the other side of the debate. People feel as though that, when you see Elizabeth Warren state things like the only thing that she would be for is something in which, can monitor taxes or how much people make and so on. It's like, no, we need to get big government out of our lives. You get where I'm going with this. So anyway, the IRS said it wants information on Kraken accounts that did at least 20K of cryptocurrency trading in any single year. And it ranges, listen to this, from 2016 to 2020. Now, why those particular years, right? Are we just going to dismiss, 2021 to, well, I mean, we can't count 2023 because, typically speaking, there's still, most of this year is just kind of like when you file income taxes, you can't count where, the current year. So Kraken had basically called the agency summons an unjustified treasure hunt, arguing it went well beyond the boundaries set in a similar fight with Coinbase about 6 years ago. And that is worth pointing out. It's just like, okay, so, this failed, I guess, 6 years ago. So now all of a sudden you're going to pick on us? Well, maybe. Friday's ruling siding with the government comes amid a deepening U.S. crackdown, of course, on crypto. But you would think that the market would be maybe tanking based on some of this information. Well, not exactly. I mean, this is one exchange. It's not enough I don't think it's enough to thread the needle in a negative aspect. But at the same time, this news just dropped like a few hours ago. So maybe it just kind of takes time. Who knows? But the SEC this month, of course, filed separate lawsuits accusing Coinbase, as we know, of running, I should say, an illegal exchange, alleging that Binance, well, you get the gist, right? We know about this stuff. So who's next on the list, right? Well, forget that. Let's talk about some other things. So here's another news headline, and this time comes from Cointelegraph. We love talking about crypto mass adoption, do we not? So let's get some good news going on here. The latest Cointelegraph report assesses the current growth rate of global cryptocurrency uses and tries to predict, listen to this, when crypto will reach mass adoption. Now, I will state this. If you guys have tuned in to the latest Jasmine video, you basically know that, I was talking a lot about institutional adoption. It's a big deal, right? Even with the quant video. You know what? I think our numbers just suck tonight, man. Like, there must be a lot of other shows going on tonight. That's okay. Anyway, we'll get through it. I appreciate you guys being here, nonetheless. But anyway, yes, crypto usage tries to predict when crypto will reach mass adoption. It's worth pointing out. So, this guy, of course, did a video on it. He's from the Cointelegraph team. You're more than welcome to take a look into it. But I'm gonna highlight some key things here. Okay. Obviously he's going to point out some of the, the bell curves and all that stuff. But this part right here, crypto's global adoption rate is still in the single digits. Like even here in the United States, it's still at a staggering 2%. Again, when we talk about the accumulation phase, how long is that phase going to be if institutional money comes in to get you that mass adoption, right? Absolutely. But anyway, in regards to these single digits, this means that it still remains in the early majority phase of global adoption. Again, a little bit more of what I was talking about. To grow further and reach true mass adoption, crypto will need to overcome the chasm, which is basically the gap separating the early adopters from the early majority. To do so, certain catalysts may be required. Well, yeah, there's quite a few things that need to be required. That's why we put so much emphasis, for instance, on we got to get regulatory framework, get clarity, and then from there, institutional money comes in and brings in an insane amount of market cap. And, some people feel as though, well, how do we get retail mass adoption? For the same reasons that, Elon Musk was talking about, aka Mike Cornwell, being able to take your debit card, swipe it, and not even realize it's tied into crypto. I think, if anything, this is why some projects still recognize the legacy systems, even though they're old and outdated. They are technically tied into the old traditional financial sectors of the world and so on. By bridging that gap between TradeFi and also DeFi, it's big, right? So, it's not just jumping from one to the other instantly and shutting off the old system. You have to have a proper bridge, and you have to have the proper infrastructure to allow that to happen. Here at CTN, of course, we cover a lot of these ones that are, the ones that get that job done. Now, going on to the next particular one. This is from Legrand Commission, and this is another key highlight for mainstream news. I know sometimes mainstream news is boring, but it's worth pointing out, right? So we did talk about the ETF filings from, for instance, BlackRock and so on. Legrand, if you're listening, your Wall Street Journal article, if you guys send me any type of Wall Street Journal one, I've used them so many times to the point that I can't use them anymore, and I get flagged because I'm not, a subscriber to them. You know what I mean? So it's just going to block me out completely. So all I did basically is I went on Google and, looked up a different source, and I pulled up CoinDesk. So no big deal. All right. So Bitcoin tumbles on report of SEC saying spot BTC ETF filings are inadequate. Now, here's the thing. We pointed out, right? BTC is just slightly up, right? I mean, like maybe on the 1 hour chart or the 24-hour chart, right? Is that really tumbling? Not necessarily so. Does that mean we're going to lose support? Not necessarily so. But the rest of the market seems to be doing well, which that in itself is pretty darn cool, right? So we get a rebound, maybe over the 4th of July weekend, if you want to call it the 4th of July weekend, whatever the case, or this weekend going into the big holiday, we get a rebound, new support and so on. With the market as it is right now, keeping, all coins are kind of holding their own and blasting off. Are they not? That's a great sign. So let's jump into this for a moment, right? BTC tumbles on report of SEC spot BTC ETF filings inadequate. Spot Bitcoin ETF applications, again from BlackRock and Fidelity, among others, had helped drive Bitcoin higher over the past 2 weeks, and it did. And on this particular one, before we jump into it, we're going to jump back into the comments, and then we're going to show you this. I review this. I thought it was very well laid out. They give you like literally the main nitty gritty what's going on. But we're going to get into that in just a brief bit. And let's jump back into the comments just so I can keep up with the flow, because the way I look at it, if there's not many people here tonight anyway, I'll be caught up in the comments for a change. Anyway, I guess I'll turn something that's bad into something good. All right. So let's go further down. And of course, everybody's welcoming each other, which is always a good thing. Sell as much as you can afford. He sticks the tongue out. 50 BSV is a nice bag, I guess. 100 maybe. Oh, yeah. I'm not to those targets yet, but that'd be cool. Someone said, be it 100 BSV it is. He's laughing. I'm glad I bought the bottom. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. I'm like way up on that. So I'm happy about that. Wouldn't buy at the moment. Might go back down a little. Brian Daly says he sold all his BSV for Pink Taco Inu. God. All right. That's funny. All right. Boomerang for dinner. Well done, Brian. Well worth it. Larry likes that BSV. Has a huge bag. All right. That's good stuff. Larry likes XRP. He does like XRP. I mean, he has some XRP. I mean, you know. Wow, my BSV portfolio looking much better. Okay, that's cool. All right. Mr. Lambos, Larry has 17 XRP bullish as F. I'll tell you this much, he has a hell of a lot more than that. Okay. I know you guys joke about him, but he did buy some a while back, and he bought it like he didn't buy like the biggest bag in the world, but he bought a decent sized bag. I mean, come on, you know, give him credit where credit's due, right? I will never give him credit where credit's due. He comes to the show unprepped. I'm going to complain. Oh, it's okay. I'm not making fun of you guys. I understand. All right, so GT, hold on a second, Brian. Oh, he did that a while back, man, like a long time ago, like many months ago. All right, so GT's in the house with the wonderful Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know, you want to call it an avatar from Predator. What was Carl Weathers' character's name? I forgot that. I do forget that. Anyway, because I mean, there was Dutch, which was Schwarzenegger's character. And I don't want to Wikipedia it, so I'll leave it up to you guys. Can you remember? You'll win. I'll tell you where you're going to win. You're going to win exactly 1 million Mononoke Inu, and you're not going to be able to use it anyway because of the gas fees. I'm just kidding. That's bad. All right. I think there what's that? There's a shocking BSV explosion coming. This is nothing. Huh. All right. Welcome back to Ahmed. He's saying XLM. I need to chop up one of the XLM videos and get it out because it's good info. Someone in regards to Elon Musk. No, not Elon Musk. Elon Musk, right? And SpaceX and all that. So we good, little segment we did, if you guys remember that. All right. Let's see if we're towards some of the bottom. And I think we're close to it. Triple C says, by the way, welcome Blackwood. If anyone welcome you. He says he didn't notice it at first either, and he promises us that BlackRock is testing the various Bitcoins and will go with the ones that works. That sounds good to me because that means I made the right choice on my BSV. And in regards to what you just said, they have no choice but to use the one that works, BSV. Cool stuff, man. All right, Stump Rider is in the house. Everyone's saying hello to Achman. Hulk says cheers. April Corn was in the house. She says, hey, y'all. Sound like what's his name from the Outcast, Andre 3000. Hey, y'all. Welcome, though, April Cornwell. And I do see that we're starting to tick up. Maybe it's just because so many people are used to us starting at, I don't know, 6:15 Pacific and then, welcoming people. And then now the show starts. I don't know. Whatever the case be, I appreciate it. Please smash that like. Let's see how we're doing the likes. 25 likes. If everybody could smash the like, that'd be great. Speaking of Mr. Elon Muff, he's in the house. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Sorry that I just not that long ago saw the Facebook Messenger thing. It was extremely stressful night last night. 9 hours straight with my dad trying to help him out, and it's just all the way to the early morning, like literally till 6:30 this morning. It started I don't know, basically from the time I got off the show. I even got dehydrated myself from just focusing on him, making sure that, he doesn't fall. And I don't want to get into it all, man. God bless you guys who have younger I guess you could say, parents or something like that. My dad's old enough to be my grandfather. I'm thankful though, because some of you guys, maybe your parents passed away a while ago, but it's tough dealing with older relatives and stuff. All right, thank you again for the $2 super chat, Mr. Mike Cornwell, aka Elon Muff. All right, where are we at? And we're going to kick it back into the outline. I want to welcome Magic Power. You didn't do your classic thing, man. Oh, yeah, you did. There it is right there. Hello, guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. Just me in the house. Thank you. All right, he says Bitcoin Cash is the better choice for the next bull run. I said this when Bitcoin Cash was around 100 and now 300. All-time high was 3,780 December 27th. Uh-oh, shots fired. Papa Doc, what you gonna do? We got a little crypto MC battle going on here. We might as well call it Mr. Magic Power, Mr. B Rabbit, and we're going to refer to Mr. Cool Cat Crypto as Papa Doc. So Papa Doc, what you gonna do? I see a little battle going on. BSV versus the BCH. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Me is in the house. Welcome back. And I can't just keep going through the comments. So what we're going to do is, and I am glad to see you, Me. It's been a while. All right. Let's go ahead and get back into it. We have maybe just a tad bit more. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have this whole thing. All right. I'm glad I got into a lot of comments then. So this is in relation to, of course, the spot BTC ETF filings being, quote unquote, inadequate. All right. Here's a little explanation of these specific things. Let's go ahead and share this. I'll take out some banners off just to make it look a little bit nicer. Here we go. And I think Cool Cat Crypto pointed out some things of the lady on the top right before, if I'm not mistaken, but that's okay. He's only human. And he's a guy. And that's what dudes do once in a while. All right. Here we go.
Let's talk about ETFs and some not so positive news this afternoon. The SEC says spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. The regulator told NASDAQ and CBOE that BlackRock, Fidelity, and other filings are not clear and comprehensive. This is according to a report by the Wall Street Journal. This after investors and analysts speculated that the bid by BlackRock could be a catalyst for a spot Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. Bitcoin tumbled below 30K. I believe it is back above. Zach, what do you make of this?
It all comes down to the surveillance sharing agreement, right? And that's what is reportedly in contention here. The SEC has long voiced concerns that the Bitcoin spot market is subject to market manipulation, and therefore it's rejected a lot of previous Bitcoin ETF applications on those grounds. So the thing that got everyone all excited was that BlackRock had come to this surveillance sharing agreement with some major players in the space to make sure that they could, again, assuage some of the SEC's concerns about market manipulation and price manipulation in the spot Bitcoin market. Now, according to these sources, they didn't do it well enough. I guess it gives a little bit of room for these issuers to come back and say, no, here's how we can beef this thing up and meet your concerns. But it does sort of counteract the recent narrative in the recent weeks that this was an inevitability because we had these things in place. It sort of suggests that, hey, maybe we might see another round of rejections, which we've seen for years prior. So really interesting if these sources do indeed know this to be the case, that's really what it's going to come down to is, again, these surveillance sharing agreements that BlackRock, Fidelity, and others are baking into their applications this time around. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, I honestly think that this is pretty fascinating, and I like it in many ways because it's kind of a lose-lose for the SEC right now. First off, it is worth noting that we found out that they were unhappy with this application like 2 weeks after the applications went in, like a week, 2 weeks after the applications went in. That's really atypical. Again, what has been normal for the SEC has been to drag these out, to delay them, and then they finally get to the spot where they can't delay it, and then they reject it. So this is kind of like, this is a little unusual just from that perspective. But look at it from the SEC standpoint, right? Through my cynical lens, which is that the SEC doesn't really want to have any spot Bitcoin ETFs, because when you have a spot Bitcoin ETF, unlike a futures ETF, it means that money that goes in to get exposure to Bitcoin is actually taking Bitcoin off of the market and is storing it in some place that, all other things being equal, actually adds demand to the equation. The SEC in the US doesn't really want that. They want Bitcoin to kind of just go away and these tokens to kind of just go away, especially Bitcoin, though, because they represent a threat in some ways. So when you're looking at these rejections, you have to kind of look at it through that lens. And when BlackRock comes and they apply and they have a track record of like 500 approvals for every 100 rejection, you kind of like, the assumption has to be there that they're going to approve it, just because, again, history suggests that they will. So when you look at this situation, you're looking, again, a regulator that doesn't want to approve any of this type of instrument. And so they're looking for reasons to reject it. Now, the rejection itself was actually quite weak. To the extent that the Wall Street Journal reporting is true, essentially what they said was, hey, tell us what the exchange is. Give us more details on the surveillance agreement. So that's not necessarily like, oh, no, this isn't allowed. That's like, hey, we want more details. So I think it's great. I think it's actually very funny, and I'm quite curious to see how this plays out, because I think that the SEC is in large part trapped, where they'll have to either acknowledge that they just don't want to do this, which they have not yet been willing to do, or on the other side, they'll grant it to someone like BlackRock, and then kind of all the concerns that come along with it happen. So I think it's great, and I'm really into it. What do you think? What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Same point with the delay here was kind of odd, because normally there's that 75-day comment period where they have to like take it in, digest it, and then they can issue something. And historically, we've seen them drag it out to the end there, and then they reject it. And that's why it's taken so long historically to have these ETFs go through, right? So when we had the BlackRock one go through, we had multiple others also file, Fidelity being the latest one, right? That was a big news item last week, and it was confirmed yesterday. This issue seems to be around the surveillance agreement, according to the Wall Street Journal reporting. And I think that ties back into these market structures where Bitcoin exists on top of, right? So if you think about Coinbase or Binance or Huobi or OKX, the market makers for these markets are typically firms that tie in and start working on the back end and providing liquidity for market to trade. Sometimes, however, these exchanges do that themselves. That was a big thing with the Binance SEC lawsuit that came out the other day, was that an entity that is owned by Binance's CEO, CZ, is market making on top of Binance. And I don't think the SEC likes that. I don't think a lot of people like that in traditional exchanges where your market maker is also owned by the exchange, right? They might think that that's unfair. And so I think that is maybe what the SEC wants here, is more information about who's creating this market, where the surveillance is coming from. My understanding is that Coinbase is the one providing this information on behalf of NASDAQ, and that seems to be it. But I think they want more information to be able to move this forward. Zach?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I saw Jen's hand, so I want to get her on the record. What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, on the flip side of the coin, this atypical situation, Adam and Will, that you brought up could be good that the SEC has responded so quickly. I mean, asset managers now have time to respond to these comments and refile. Previously, it's taken so many days. The entire process takes more than 200 days. And so I think that this atypical situation could mean that there is some change, could mean that there's some flexibility, and could mean that they're willing to work with those that are filing these ETFs. So I don't see it as a total negative sign just yet. And it looks like the market doesn't either. I mean, Bitcoin dipped just below 30K, but it's back up. It's been there for weeks since we've learned about the filing of BlackRock's ETF. And so I'm waiting to see on what's going to happen with this one. Zach?
I'm kind of with you on that, Jen. I think that my gut would sort of be along those lines as well, right? Like BlackRock, I think, is the largest ETF issuer in the world, right? They know the process. And this seems to be part of the engagement process with the SEC, potentially in terms of getting this thing over the line. But it really does boil down to the surveillance sharing agreement, as many have pointed out, with the BlackRock application and others.
All right. So glad to share that. Bottom line is this, like she just mentioned, we're going to wait it out. That's what I'm going to do. See what happens. So again, smash that like if you haven't done so already. We are going to kick it back into the comments. We're at 30 likes as we speak. About 40 people watching. Very, very cool stuff. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Friday evening. I guess you can call it 4th of July weekend, but some of you guys got to go back on Monday. Anyway. All right. Let's get into some more comments. GS has got the brewskis. He's got the pizza, the burgers. April Cornwell says she's had the best day ever. Really? That's awesome. Well, cool. I mean, you could volunteer that if you want, or if it's personal, you don't have to do that. But either way, that's awesome. That is very, very good. You in space? Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, basically speaking, you know, the stellar connection to Mr. Elon Muff. That's exactly what happened. So, yeah, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here, Mr. Mike Cornwell, Elon Muff. And hello to you, me. Hello, hello. All right. Brian, that KTO girl on Sean's stream is fire. I went in there and basically said hello real quick. That's all while I was playing that video, just to kind of show some support. Shout out to our brother Sean. By the way, I have an announcement to make. Remember we used to do Utilities Talk Now, and of course Sean took a break from the whole crypto thing and he went on a little vacation and stuff. So for old time's sake, not a regularly, you know, a regularly scheduled broadcast, next Wednesday, yes, of next week, Utility Talk Now is back. We'll have Sean the Crypto Smith on here. It's gonna be great. So really looking forward to having that, having him back. All right. This is a nice little back and forth conversation, and of course covering like a main topic or something. You know, if you guys remember those things, that's what we'll do. Oh, here we go. All right, so Papa Doc is ready to strike. He says Bitcoin Cash doesn't work. BlackRock can't use it. So come back with a better rhyme and verse. Otherwise, Mr. Magic Power, Cool Cat Crypto is gonna abuse it. Oh, no, I'm kidding. You can't do any of that stuff. All right. He's got another one. It's called B Crash for a reason. Oh, that would be you know, all those guys. I can't even do it right now. You know what I'm talking about. What's his name? You know, he's just like, but I'm not a rapper. Anyway, Worldwide Crypto. Hey, man. Welcome. Taking it worldwide. He said, what's up, bro? Yeah, what's up? Give a follow to Mr. Worldwide Crypto. We'll give you a plug real quick as well. Let me see your channel real quick. Worldwide Crypto. Pull that up real quick. Here we go. And here's Worldwide Crypto, the one, the only, Mr. Worldwide Crypto. All right. Here's the video section. Here's some of the other ones he's done. He's covered obviously MMI, quite a few things, right? He does live shows, Stardome, some other things. Covers a lot of things. So glad to have you here, and give him a follow over at Worldwide Crypto. We'll keep that up there for a bit. Let me come back in the frame. All right. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk says, so Garlinghouse said weeks ago that the case would be over in weeks. It's been, quote, weeks since he said that. Actually, a month. When do you guys think it will be over? I think it'll be over, like I said originally, sometime this year. I don't see it going out to 2024. But as far as this whole thing about, you know, over in weeks, over within a few months, I don't think that's the case. Not trying to be the guy that's right. That's just my own personal view. We all have different views on that. I mean, I don't think there's a single person here is like, well, there might be a couple people who are like, yeah, you know, I see eye to eye with you, but it's all mixed, you know. All right, let's read just a couple more comments. Glad that Blackwood is saying, you know, hello to or Blackwood Magic Power saying hello to Blackwood, Brian Booner. I think that's a typo. GS and hello. All right. G Ray Wells bootlegging at work. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. It's fine over. I used to love watching that back in the day. Well, reruns, let's be honest. So all right. Fat Albert in the Cosmos, Adam Kids. That's something. Crypto Puppet. Oh, you got your Pontiac Trans Am going. You here to smash that like, but gotta go. Oh, okay. Well, take it easy. All right. Elon Musk says, hey, it's Fat Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you, and we're gonna show you a thing or two. You'll have some fun now with me and all the gang learning from each other while we. I thought you gotta keep rhyming. Dang it, you didn't do that. All right, let's use that as a bookmark. Again, smash the like. We're gonna kick it into some other things, right? So we talked quite a bit about some of the stuff, some of the headline stuff, and now it's time to kind of somewhat try to get away from the headline stuff. But we'll share one last headline, and it's from the one and only Mr. Tim Shea, who says, "Hey, so here it is." And basically speaking, Tim sent me a DM. I thought I would share it with you guys. A lot of us, right, for the most part, follow Watch Your Guru. I think I had to re-follow, but it's no big deal. I mean, I follow anyway. It says Justin 4.2 trillion Fidelity names Coinbase as SSA counterpart in updated spot Bitcoin ETF filing. It just kind of rounds that out. Some people feel as though this is big. Other people feel as though that they didn't even know this was moving the market. This guy, let's get those fees, freaking Brian Armstrong, and like waking up like that with green candles on your mind, and, like, come on. Like, is there somebody in this crowd of people that watch CTN? So many of us have our custom avatars, but let's just be honest about this, right? I'm going to come out of the frame for a moment. There is somebody, as we speak, literally, this is you, okay? This is literally you, literally waking up and, what's going on here? I see that the freaking, green candle going on. And I just woke up on the other side of the bed from a Pepe hangover. And, looks pretty freaking crazy if you ask me. BlackRock freaking ETF and stuff. What is that? You found my freaking hammer? Mr. Misty? Mr. Peanut Butter Parfait? I do not storm the beaches of Normandy to have some snot-nosed punk tell me I got to order a freaking Arctic Freeze. I've been calling it freaking Mr. Misty since you were in PJs eating the Dunkin' Donut back on Wilshire and 3rd back in 1985. Little bastard. Anyway, sorry about that. We'll come back in the frame. All right, I don't know why I did that, but let's jump into what we also have here, and that basically is gotta do a little funny stuff. I mean, that guy just looks funny. I mean, come on. Like, I got a feeling, I'm just gonna throw this out here. Like, even though we know what Mr. Elon Musk looks like, right? Mike Cornwell. This is a representation of Mike Cornwell waking up, starting his work day, but it's just like, what's that? My freaking leverage? Well, and I did 100x. He don't talk like that, but anyway. I mean, come on. That might be my new thumbnail for like a future project. All right. In all seriousness, we are going to kick it into the next thing. All right. So on this one, even though it's not tagged, let's talk about some Iota. All right. Can we talk about some Iota? Is that cool? Are you guys down with Iota? I think you're down with Iota. So in regards to Iota, all right, I, of course, picked up a bag of it finally. Glad I did so. But in regards to Iota, there's quite a bit to mention here. So shout out to Henry Brown. He might not even be here tonight. He's probably watching Crypto Hulk, and that's okay. He says Iota leads the way. How do they lead the way? Well, this is how. This comes from Crypto News Flash, right? News Flash. Kind of like Dennis Hopper back in the day. Remember the movie Speed, pop quiz hot shot. So newsflash. And in this newsflash, Iota leads the way in European Union's EDIC initiative for blockchain infrastructure, spearheading Europe's digital transformation. Now, why Iota? We're doing so much talk. We've seen these types of thumbnails. How many times have they put Stellar here? How many times have they put Ripple on that particular little keyboard button? But this is Iota. And let's face it, it's always part of the mix for ISO 222 and so on, right? So European Union is working towards launching an international body as part of the EDIC initiative to oversee blockchain platforms connecting citizens to public services. Could this be a taste of, for instance, Society 5.0, but in Europe? Ooh, Max never talked about that before, right? He always talks about what's going on with Japan and so on, especially with Jasmine. Iota has expressed keen interest in actively participating in the EU's EDIC initiative. Or if you're DGen, some of you guys will probably refer to that as Europe's EDIC initiative. Call it what you want. It still means the same thing. All right. And contributing to this vision by leveraging, that's why I showed the green, guy referring to Mr. Elon Musk with the leverage, its technology stack for the initiative's success. Now, there's, of course, a little bit more in regards to what's going to happen by the end of 2024. I'm not going to get into that real quick. But what I want to show you right here is this person, all right? Nina Dokuzov, head of the blockchain group in Slovenia's Ministry of Economy, Tourism and Sport, has been spearheading efforts to take Europe's blockchain infrastructure to the next level. Quote, "This is the real contribution. Blockchain will be recognized, it will be visible, and people will know that there is an institution to take care of blockchain broader application," she told DL News. Now, of course, okay, if you're doing that voice, can you do it as a lady? Because it clearly was a lady. I know, I can't do a lady voice. The only lady voice I can do is Edith Bunker, like, how that goes. Hey, Archie, but we're not talking about Archie Bunker. We're talking about Iota. Currently, all blockchain, related developments in Europe, if you weren't aware about this, happen through the European Blockchain Services and Infrastructure, which is called EBSI. We'll start calling it EBSI. Is the current blockchain project, and it was set up back in 2018 by the Commission. It also includes a group of 29 European countries that form the foundations for future EU public services. Now, before we get more into this, you may be thinking, well, where's the juicy stuff? I don't care about all this boring stuff. That's a good point. But you got to keep in mind that when you get further into it, boom, here you go. Iota is to actively participate in European Union's EDIC initiative. So if you have a perfect example of, like, all blockchain related developments in Europe happen through this particular EBSI or EBSI, and Iota is actively participating in just that particular initiative, well, put two and two together. But there's more. And that basically is this. Europe recognizes the importance of a reliable and accessible infrastructure. We're always talking about infrastructure here at CTN, are we not? Shout out to even Cool Cat Crypto. If you don't have no infrastructure, you don't have squat. You can't scale, you don't have squat. I have to have the same user experience as you. If your user experience sucks and mine is great, then is your project scaling? No, it is not. Iota, for instance, let's get back to this, takes pride in its contribution towards this vision. Let's jump back to this because it states Europe recognizes the importance of a reliable and accessible infrastructure that can drive the digital revolution across their economy and society. Iota takes pride, like I mentioned, in its contribution towards this vision, aiming to generate value not only for Europe, but also the rest of the world. Well, sounds pretty darn awesome, right? All right, so here's this guy who is in reference to this whole thing of EDIC, Dominic Schneider, anyway, the EDIC, he says, initiative is a great step forward. Europe needs a secure, open infrastructure to spearhead the digital transformation of our economy and society. I mean, true, right? I mean, we understand that the UK is no longer part of the European Union with Brexit, but they're proud to contribute to this vision, create value for Europe and the world, #Iota. So, I mean, it's worth pointing out. But if you weren't aware of it, earlier this year in January, which, let's face it, that's almost 7 months ago, Iota, back to the topic, became part of the EBSI initiative. And basically, by being part of the European Union, this initiative allowed the flow of verified information between enterprises, institutions, and individuals throughout the European Economic Area. Now, in regards to their objective, and we'll tie it into Iota real quick, EBSI is to create a decentralized network using distributed ledger technologies that connects countries within the European community. This network aims to facilitate seamless cross-border cross-border services for governments, businesses, and individuals. Now, let's face it. This statement right here is basically the whole reason why some people, when they do like an article or a deep dive or whatever you want to refer to it, they'll mention Ripple's XRP, they'll mention Stellar's XLM, and also, especially, they'll mention Iota, right? Iota, where you want to refer to it. There's, of course, many goals to this, and to tie it in to the thesis of, cross-border payments, if you're wondering about that, you have to understand some of the goals. And some of those goals of the EBSI is to encompass improving, like we just mentioned, cross-border mobility, minimizing resource wastage, ensuring compliance with EU regulations. All this basically spells the path forward for regulatory compliance, regulations, clarity, you name it. By leveraging EBSI, verified information can be swiftly and reliably shared across Europe. Let's get to Iota. Iota has been one of the 3 finalists, listen to this, in EBSI, and Schneider said that they are confident in building the technology stack for the EDIC initiative. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, they're part of, the infrastructure of the European Union. They're part of, some of this big stuff with cross-border, mobility. When people talk about regulations, they're at the forefront of European Union regulations. So, I mean, all these things are great things, right? But anyway, I thought I'd point some of that out because, lately Iota has been tagged in the same breath, if you will, or the same sentence as Ripple and Stellar. And some people are wondering why, because, let's face it, a lot of us don't do, I should say a lot of us, but some of us may have done more research on Stellar, more research on Ripple compared to some of the other ones like Iota. Thank you to Henry Brown. He might not be here tonight. I thought I would go ahead and take this and share it. So shout out to Henry Brown, CTN sideline reporter. All right. We will now jump into the comments once again. And then after this, we are going to jump into a little bit of Nexera. All right. Man, we took a massive nosedive. Went from 40 something down to 28. I guess people don't like me talking about Iota. That's all right. Let's get further down here. What did you accidentally call me a Big Mac? Remember that one? There's that one guy used to always call me Mac. Anyway, April Cornwell says prayers for you and your dad. Thank you very much, April. Appreciate that. See you, Mike. Well, you could have said see you, Max, also, but that's all right. Thank you. All right. April Cornwell says, I'm right there with you, Max. I most definitely know, and I'll send you all the strength. Thank you so much. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see how we're doing on the likes real quick. We're at 33 likes. Not bad. I'll double check the other screens, make sure that we're doing well. And let's go further down. Triple C says he's tempted to trade everything for BS to be a BSV maxi. I hear you on that, man. Like, there's been things I've been tempted on doing, but I don't do it. Like, I've been tempted to be a QNT maxi or some of these other ones, but I'm not going to do that. All right. Crypto Puppet says, yo, I'm at a party. I knew you had something like that, And there's probably boring moments at the party and try to kill time by checking in what's going on with us. And we do appreciate that. All right, Nexera. Yep, we're gonna get into some Nexera. See you later. Cool Cat Crypto saying hello to Calvin. What's up, Calvin? With the T6 glider. All right. Cool. Or Woodwall Crypto says make sure to smash that like button. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That was nice of you to say that. All right, BlackRock. Yeah, Larry Fink is in the house now. He's disguised as a dog. Blackwood, this has to be a show. I don't see BlackRock not eviscerating Gensler when it comes to his future career prospects. He did 4 times. Wow, that'd be cool if you could do that. All right. Hunter is in the house. Welcome. Sometimes I watch 2-bit, and I did see you there, and obviously you got the 2-bit Marvel, so that's cool. Welcome back, Hunter. And sometimes I could comment in there, sometimes I can't. But when I was working, I wasn't able to. I mean, anyway. All right. Whoa, what the heck is this? Yo, it's the Filipino Ice Cube here to drop some verses and make moves. Talking about that BSV crypto, a new wave. Watch it grow and glow. Got that Bitcoin vision, Satoshi's dream. Where's the rest of the rhyme? I don't know what to say. I look like a giant Krispy Kreme. On the camera, where's the verse? What the heck did you do? Put it in April Cornwell's purse? I need more rhymes. When are you going to bust it out? Selmo Fudd is waiting for you to... I can't even finish it. Anyway, because I don't have the rhyme. You're not on time. You're always on the phone giving people a shipping line. Elon Musk in the house about to sell you a shipping container. Why? Because it's a no-brainer. Anyway, I'll stop. My bad. All right. You kind of left me hanging there. I had to kind of go with something. All right. Blackwell says if Gensler really did this to BlackRock and it's not staged, he's a moron. He is a moron, period. But I get what you're saying. Cool cat. Maybe BSV will be involved in these large ETFs. Good point. Brian Dowie, that pogo stick will blow your mind. Live and in person is a different level type of ish. Sounds like something from like 50 Cent and Lil Kim back in the day. I got the pogo stick. Oh, it's a magic stick though. Anyway, Caroline's got the pogo stick. All right, Calvin, Tim Shea always coaching us up. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. We all appreciate Tim Shea and Coochie Boy and all these guys, right? All right. Elon Musk says BSV is the real deal, the ultimate cream block size scaling. Let me start that over. BSV is the real deal, the ultimate cream block size scaling. Transaction speeds, the future is bright. Planting new seeds. That's the course. BSV is the crypto with the might, breaking through barriers. Where's the rest of this darn text? Oh my gosh, it's all right. You had well intention, my friend. All right. Tim Shea, yes, I did separate orders. You guys talking to each other. This is good stuff. All right, let's go further down. Yeah, LOL Filipino Ice Cube. Yes, it's because Ice Cube was Doughboy with the the Detroit Tigers thing. I had a friend that tried to debate me on that once. He was just like, no, it's because he's the Tigers fan. I'm like, are you kidding me? His name in the movie is his nickname is Doughboy, man. He could give a crap about the Detroit Tigers. He lives in LA. If anything, he'd be a freaking Dodgers fan or something like that, right? No, man. It's because he's actually a Detroit Tiger. Like, there's a lot of rappers that wear Detroit. I'm like, because some of them are actually from Detroit. No, you don't understand. This is long before Eminem and 8 Mile and D12 and so on. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about on this one, man. And you say, no, you don't understand. Like, it's legitimate, man. They're all Detroit Tigers. I'm like, no, they are not. So yes, a little bit like the D extended on the stick makes a P. Ice Cube wore the D, I wore the P. Am I Filipino Ice Cube? No, I'm not even a drop in the bucket. If I was great at rhyming, why would it be on camera talking about blockchain, distributed ledger technologies? I don't know. I probably still would, but anyway. Muff, the 90s hip hop star tonight. He needs to drop more rhymes and make it right. Stop leaving me hanging on the show. Talk to Mr. Blackwood because we're ready to go. Calvin in the house saying what's up to Tim Shea. Make sure you pray for Max and his pops every day because Selma Fudd is in the house. He's saying that she looks Indian and it's all right because Tim Shea saying what's up to GS all damn night. Let's get with Brian Dowley. Let's get the flow. Say what's up to GS all night long, ready to go. All right, so I'm going to stop. Tim, yep, this whole BRICS thing makes it more of a reality. It does. That's why you always follow it. All right, I'm going to double check the other screen. And Max, you definitely look like Ice Cube. Well, I mean, I'm not complaining. That's a good thing, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't trying to look like Ice Cube. I'm just trying to do me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be me. I like the hat. It's one of the few hats that fit a big size, size 8 mug. This is the biggest they make in a hat, by the way. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's pretty cool. What else? Ghost Caroline does that with backflips in between. Max is rapping, Caroline and Eva clapping, trying to sing while I'm eating a hot dog, shoving it down the face. You want to talk about Boomer effing sooner? Homie, it's too late. Come join the CTN clan that's rapping. And if you don't know me, you're going to be like Brian Dowie in the chat with the little pink thing slapping to the side, rhyming all night long. It's time to ride with Mr. Selmo Fudd in his Cadillac, ready to. Never mind. I'm not going to even go no more. I'm not even making sense. Forget all this stuff, the hip hop. Let's get into the show. Stop talking about this rapping stuff, Max. I came here for some freaking crypto. Okay, I understand. All right. What rapper says it? All right. I forgot. Anyway, let's get into some Nexera. Forget all this hip hop, and you don't stop rocking. All right, let's share this. All right, shout out to this guy, Trevor. If you're an NBA fan, Trevor Ariza, remember him? All right, so let's jump into this, and this is the Nexera news segment you're waiting for. Lionel Richie. Utility tokens will be huge in the coming days, and this is one of the ones that he's quite bullish on. Now, here's the thing. We talk about Nexera. We talk about in passing, like, oh, yeah, Nexera, formerly known as ALBT, Alliance Block. Oh, yeah, it's the younger cousin of Quant, blah, blah, blah. And that's usually, I hate to say it, like, where it ends. Oh, yeah, it's that's that TradeFi bridge to DeFi. Okay. There's a lot more to it than that. Is there not? Yes, there is. So why is this one of the ones that this guy's bullish on, or I'm bullish on, or we still believe in? Oh, Max is doing the Nexera segment. This is basically ALBT Classic. I got rid of that garbage. Is it really garbage, though? Is it? You may not realize some things that you weren't aware of. So the utility network layer of Nexera. What's that all about? Means of exchange. Nexera tokens will be used for fees, payments, and transaction mechanisms across the Alliance block ecosystem. The actual tokens, because like it says, a means of adoption, and we should talk about the means of adoption, should we not? They are used to incentivize the growth of the ecosystem and adoption of Alliance blocks technology. Ooh, this guy over here, damn, powered by QNT. We are seeing QNT taking over TradeFi in real time. And it's big stuff, right? People taking some of the stuff. But what I want to show you is this right here. You want to learn more about the Nexera utility, right? We can keep mentioning the same things about TradeFi to, DeFi bridge and stuff like that. Are we actually going to talk about the real utility of this? Let's just jump briefly into this. This is not a super deep dive. So Alliance Block Token gives users access to a unique reputation and decision making within the entire ecosystem. Oh yeah, Max, great reputation. That whole thing that happened with Bonked Out was all their fault. No, that wasn't their fault. That was bonked out. We're going to learn more about this. So let's jump into this. And here's a brief thread. In the DApp layer, if you weren't aware of this, we should know about DApps. DApps are going to be huge at the end of 2023. Mark my word. Nexera powers integration of DApps and decentralized governance. It will also encourage participation in decentralized marketplaces and powers token holders in DApp governance. The whole concept of, does your token have any real utility? And if so, what the heck is that utility? Can somebody tell me what the Alliance block utility is? Oh my gosh, Maximus is finally talking about it. Yes, I just heard it's the younger cousin of Quant. I want to know why it's the younger cousin of Quant. This Filipino ice cube looking mofo wants to talk about why it is. I just want to learn about the utility. I don't want the hip hop till you don't stop a rocking. I want the bang bang boogie. I want the upchuck the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. Well, guess what? Nexera as a means of reputation. Oh, what kind of reputation? Well, let's blow that up too. They have, for instance, this funders platform. And I did do a deep dive a while back and it get many views, but it's done through the funders platform. Any great project has some sort of platform to get the job done. Whether we're talking about QNT with Overledger platform or we're talking about Nexera with the funders platform, right? Basically speaking, this is going to offer the chance to stake Nexera, if you're aware of it, and earn, for instance, RALBT, the ecosystem's reputation token. Reputation token? What the heck is that? This staking mechanism, think about the platform for a second, within funders gives users exclusive access to capital raising rounds and a wider capital raising ecosystem. That sounds like a mouthful, Max. I'm new. Can you explain more? You better believe it. So here it is. Nexera's utility is a dApp layer. Nexera tokens and RALBT both play a part in the Alliance block reputation system. You know, when we talk about data, we talk about Jasmine, some of these other projects, Casper, but you ever notice there's a common key consensus here? And that basically is what? Like, for instance, with Jasmine, you have platinum data, right? Through what they call happiness. Through Nexera, you have means of reputation. See how it's all kind of worded different, but kind of similar? Funder staking basically allows for staking in Nexera, and funders lets users mint RALBT, the reputation token for the Alliance block ecosystem. Comes into full fruition. Comes, you know, towards making a great thing come together through utility. Now, let's get to the part about the governance real quick to give you a broader understanding about this, because some people act like they know about Nexera, and let's just be honest, you don't. Not saying you specifically, but there's a lot of people. This is just beyond the realm of understanding, and that's okay. Here at CTN, we provide news, education, and updates. And then when Larry comes on, it's okay. He throws you an eggplant. But whatever the case be, Nexera serves as a tool for governance, allowing users to participate in the decision-making process. Again, the same example of what I was given to you guys when it comes to Jasmine. This is why we cover so many data-related projects that have solid utility. Jasmine, for instance, as we know, gives you the data decision process of what? You're the one that's in control of your data through the concept of, for instance, choosing to monetize that and putting it in what they refer to as a personal data locker. But you see the common factors here. Holders can share their preferences, signal support for specific parameters or configurations, and submit proposals to improve the infrastructure. A lot of you guys, for instance, are still into Luna Classic. I am still too. That's another perfect example of that. Like this says right here, Alliance Block DAO. Holding Nexera is key to the Alliance Block DAO governance, letting token holders vote on proposals and participate in discussions. There's a little bit more in regards to this. Let's jump into this. We were just talking about the DAO. All right. So that embodies, like it says, Nexera powered community governance. Alliance Block Data Tunnel serves as the inaugural DAO governance solution, paving the way for decentralized decision making. If you hold Nexera, basically, that is going to give you some of that power, some of that governance power. How so? By granting voting rights and involvement in DAO discussions. It empowers you. So for one, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to buy this token and I'm going to do squat with it. I mean, I guess you could choose to do that, but they are literally giving you the power, right, to do something. A little bit more. The DAO represents extra utility. And again, we're talking all about utility. Like, what the heck does this Alliance Block Nexera do? So the DAO represents extra utility for the Nexera token by driving demand and facilitating community-driven decision-making and decentralized ecosystem. The ongoing DAO efforts will extend to decisions about other products in the future, including the DEX and funders. But the whole point is being able to have a seat at the table, if you will, being a person that's part of the governance, technically stating like being like unofficially like a decision maker, but not a dictator. But you do get a seat at the table, if you will. And that's cool because the whole concept of what you see right here, like it says, the ongoing efforts will extend to decision about other products in the future, including the DEX and funders. If you think about this, this is what like Luna Classic is basically trying to do. They're trying to get an ecosystem going. How would you already like to have an ecosystem going and be able to be a person who has a say because you hold the token? All right, this part. Of course, you can find more about this recent blog, but like it says, Nexera, the next era of utility and adoption for the Alliance Block ecosystem. One of the key things I love about Alliance Block is some of the new developing things that they're doing. We understand that they're going to be doing a lot of building on Overledger, which is bullish in itself. We, of course, have followed Nexera ID. We understand how that is going to be a big thing in the future, especially when it comes to airports. Not even just airports, right? Being able to pass through, everybody's talking about cross-border payments. How about you physically are at a freaking border of some foreign country, and they have this new system that is put on blockchain, if you will, in which you are required to have, like, for instance, this new Web3 passport. That's bullish. That's utility being used. So that concludes our Alliance Block Nexera update. Not really necessarily an update, more or less giving you some education about Nexera. I'm going to jump into the comments. Thank you for listening to this. And please smash that like. All right. Up next will be our LCX Liechtenstein exchange updates, news, you name it. And there's quite a bit. All right. I'm going to turn on some banners. Please smash the like it says. And there it is. And let's put that back up. And that back up. All right. But I don't like it when you put this one up, Max, because it covers part of your Filipino Ice Cube logo. Well, whatever. Anyway. So let's get into the next comments. What do we have? All right, let's go further down. All right. You see Tim everywhere. He is everywhere. That's why he's called the crypto, the mayor of crypto, the crypto commissioner, because he's literally everywhere. That's why he represents the 589th district of the XRP army, representing his constituents. Let me see how I'm doing, because I do have to give a ride home to this dude. But it's only in a couple hours, so I'm good. All right, let's go further down. Thank you very much, April Cornwell, for the prayers. Appreciate that. And all you guys' prayers is really, it's more than appreciated. All right. I did read some of these other comments before. Sorry about that. Let me go further down. I got to be way further down than this. Because I'm looking at some of the rhymes again. Oh, boy. I'm way far down on behind. Way too far down. I'll read this. Michael Montclair, the one, the only. 646. He says he hates these weekends been working them for 10 years. Cannot wait to tell my bosses to F off, no more weekends. I hear you on that. I remember I was working at a place a long time ago, call center. It was Best Western. That's where I met my ex-girlfriend, And basically, I never forget, like, in training, being told, oh, yeah, after 3 months, you could probably start working the weekends. And then that never happened. And then I worked there for 2 years and still never got the weekends off. Well, we didn't say you couldn't get the weekends off. What we meant to say was you'll have part of the weekend off. What do you mean part of the weekend off? We'll give you Sundays and Mondays off. I want Saturday and Sunday off. Well, at least you're getting part of the weekend. I'm like, thanks. Anyway. Yeah, working weekends sucks. I agree. All right. Miguel, welcome back. Hi, everyone. Hi, Max. Hi, Brother Max. Hello, Brother Miguel. Glad to have you here. Mi hermano. Glad to have you, man. All right. Cool Cat Crypto says, if I'm not clear, if it means no depositing cash in crypto or just cash. Okay. Michael Montclair says July 20th, after FedNow releases an agreement with the banking industry. What is this? Larry says October 15th, 2023, precisely at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's when XRP will officially win his case. Oh, God, here we go. He's doing it again. It's a new year, so there we go. Approximately 2 p.m. Eastern. That's crazy. If that did happen, I don't know. But, yeah, Yeah, here we go again. Take a laxative, Larry. Yeah. All right. Blackwood says the U.S. has to speed things up. It's obvious what's happening in the rest of the world. Adapt to Web3 or suffer economic death. Adapt to Web3 or suffer economic death. You will own nothing. You will be happy. All right. You're thinking August, actually? Oh, instead of like what Larry was saying? All right. Here's Brian Dowie. He says, Larry, official bull run started February 14th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Eastern. I mean, I know you just say 2023. I thought I'd throw that in there. Green candles equal sandals. If the ETF gets approved, Ordy will moon hard. Oh, man. I got to get a bag way before that. It's been on my list, man. I think it's actually in the 5. So I did state there's a few that are part of that 5, and that's one of them that's part of that 5. All right, Richard Trench, welcome. You got a custom avatar. That's good. Let's see what you got. You got some jerseys. Okay. Looks like some football or soccer. Same thing. Jerseys. What do you say? Let me go back to your comment real quick. That way I don't lose it. I know it's on the screen, but I just want to make sure I don't lose the rest of the comments. You guys don't see what I'm talking about here, and that's okay, but there it is. All right, so Richard Trench, welcome. Glad to have you here. Thank you for taking the time on a Friday night to come and spend it with us. We really do appreciate that. What's your long-term prediction for LCX? There's people got a lot higher than I have it, but I'm going to state, I think at the height of this next cycle, I'm going to go with like over $20. You know, some people, they're saying, well, forget that, the utility run, you know, this could be like 80 or higher, you know, like up into the prices like a BNB. But my thing is, even if it gets to like $20, $25, that is huge. That is absolutely massive. Stay tuned. We got some Liechtenstein here in a bit. We're just going to read a couple more comments. And in fact, that is the next part of our segment is LCX. And just to give you a heads up, if you never have watched your show before, Richard, everything you do see tagged here does get coverage, but it might not be like all on the same day. But today's coverage does feature some LCX and some HBAR. So yeah, let's get into a couple more comments and then we'll get into some recent developments or findings. Calvin, welcome. Gensler doing Gensler things once again. Props to the alts, crushing it. Time to bounce and watch my Diamondbacks. Okay. Always love some Carolina banter. It will never get old. I could have sworn maybe you told me a long time ago that you're like up in Carefree or something like that. I don't know. I know some people are against like trying snake and stuff like that, but to be honest, I wouldn't be trying it. And that is rattlesnake. I mean, I heard it has to be prepared a certain way, but just hear me out, guys, before you shoot it down. I'm telling you flat out, I saw it on like Food Network, somebody making like some fried rattlesnake. All it literally looks like is like a 9-foot long chicken strip. You know, it actually looked pretty good. Like, just try not to picture the evil looking snake. You know what I mean? All right. Anyway. All right. So let's highlight that. Let's see how we're doing on the other side, the other comments and so on. Let's welcome back Andrew Davis in his house. Saying what's up to everybody. Glad to have you. Brian Dowie says Max show doesn't seem the same without a. I see what you're saying. Yeah, without a Dixon cider. That's Larry though. He'll definitely share that. I'm sure. So, all right. Let's jump into what we have for the Liechtenstein exchange. It just be in the house if Mr. Magic Power is here. All right. So this is a good quote. And if anything, I'm going to pull off some tabs because why not? You know, don't need to have a bunch of tabs. All right. So this guy, his name is Crypto Guy, right? And he states basically, like you see here, real easy, simple stuff, but it's true. At least that's the way I look at it, not financial advice. When it's estimated that 8 trillion will be stored on blockchain networks, you need to ask yourself, quote, how can I get a piece of that pie? Like Domino, hip hop back in the day. You know, I'm all messed up and I don't know why. So give me some of that sweet potato pie. You know, like I don't know if you guys listened to Domino back in the day. Sweet potato pie. What was the other one? Summer Fud. I'm sure you listened to Domino back in the day. We had sweet potato pie. We had Ghetto Jam. The Ghetto Jam was about to slam. That was a good one. And then a Long Beach thing. Those are just 3 hits. You have no other hits, right? But anyway, yes. How can I get a piece of the pie? By simply buying some LCX. Not financial advice, but look what's mentioned here. Let's blow this up. And that is by 2027, more than 8 trillion will be stored on the blockchain networks from Z1 and only WEF. World Economic Forum. The LCX is building the infrastructure for this new financial world, powering professional crypto finance. Guten Tag. Yes, that's what's going on. Now, how so? Right? How so, Max? I already know so, but I just want to hear you say how so. Well, shout out to this guy, LCX King. The regulation pump is going to be the biggest move ever in crypto, ever. We talk about the utility run. Basically, another way of saying it, but the regulation pump. Should we start calling the utility run the regulation pump, everybody? Should we start calling it that, Mr. Brian Dowie? Should we start calling that Mr. Boomer F. Sooner? Should we start calling that the regulation pump, Mr. Tim Shea, who says, hey, should we start calling this the regulation pump, Mr. Elon Musk? Or should we just get a hold of Mr. Squidward wherever he's at and say, you know what, Squidward, should we call it a regulation pump and stop calling it a utility run? But does it even matter? Of course it matters. Trillions of dollars will come when crypto is fully safe and secure. Diamond hands. And LCX is far ahead of the competition with 9 licenses. That's impressive, is it not? And MiCA regulated. Now, if you don't know about MiCA, we did, of course, deep dive on it. I agree. It is a no-brainer. And this is why many of you guys have pointed out since long before last year, 2022, summer 2022. I think this is when some of you guys are talking about, especially Mr. Elon Musk, Crypto Mike Cornwell, saying, look out for LCX, Liechtenstein Exchange. They're going to be basically like a blockchain bank. Like they're going to be their own bank. Oh, yeah, well, their own bank. Like, what do you mean? Like a Web3 type of bank. What's that all about? Well, the tokenization of not only digital assets, but even physical assets. The tokenization of anything and everything. Can you give us an example? Yes, absolutely. We could give you an example. Diamonds, right? Actually having some diamonds that are tokenized. And you get something like a little certificate that's represented in the form of, hey, here's what you got. And it's also on blockchain. Oh, that's impressive. How about Leo X? Another similar type of project. How about that other one that was recently reported? I think it was done through Leo X, believe it or not. The tokenization of concert tickets. Again, utility. Anything that has value can be tokenized. What platform is going to hold a lot of these particular assets? What network? LCX, Liechtenstein Exchange. Check this out. What is your guess of what LCX new product will be? Do you know that they're going to have a new product? Oh, well, Max hasn't been talking about LCX for a while. Well, I try to get to it. This is from Monty Python. Monty Python. I can't believe I just said it. This is from Monty Metzger. If it's from Monty Python, the new product would be freaking Mononoke Inu, would it not be? Because that's garbage and it'll be a joke at this point. All right. I apologize, Mr. Monty Metzger, Monty Python. One more thing, in the coming 4 weeks, we will launch something big, he says. Okay, this was posted June 30th. Today. We kept it secret and in stealth mode for a very long time. I think some of you guys remember us talking about this briefly, right? But now it's come to time. Maybe we're finally going to get something. A dedicated team, of blockchain developers, UI experts, and Web3 software engineers are working on this, a new product category. That sounds good. What is this? And it will be expanding the LCX ecosystem, giving back to all LCX holders. Oh, I like that. I like the sound of that. I would imagine, though, by giving back to LCX holders, think about it for a second. That means you have your LCX, you probably have purchased it through their exchange, right? Or will it actually mean that they just recognize that, it doesn't matter where you hold it, you're going to have something given back? What is it going to be back? Well, of course, people are curious. This guy says, I'm curious to see what it will be, especially since it was emphasized that it's something for every LCX holder. I agree. This other guy, same guy actually, and blockchain is a long-term project for LCX, so I don't think it will be, but this will be huge push, right, for LCX. Likely the LCX team will be tokenized. I mean, it's to be expected. So what is this going to be? Don't know yet, but I like the idea that we're finally getting an update because this was something that was mentioned a while back. Worth paying attention to. At least I think it is. All right. That's basically it in regards to the LCX coverage. Not a lot, but it's just, you know, at least it's something. The next one will be the juicy stuff. You guys have been waiting for some of the juicy stuff. We got the juice, all right? The juice is loose. I'm not talking about OJ Simpson. No way. We're going to jump to the H-bar. Quite a few things in regards to H-bar. So if you're waiting for some H-bar, smash that like. We're now an hour and 35 minutes into the show. Kick it back to the comments for a bit and jump into some Hedera. Let's see how we're doing on the likes. 41 likes. Maybe helped if we get a few more people hit the like, but that's okay. Michael Montclair says, how many billionaires will accidentally die before the banks have completely controlled the market? They are an evil institution controlled by the elites. Interesting. All right. Oh, yes, you've been timed out before? For what? What did you do? Well, you didn't get timed out here. I can tell you that much, unless somebody accidentally hit it. Iota. Yes, Iota. GS says, Scott caused a ruckus on 2Bits show. You guys are tears? Scott Hill, the Litecoin guy, the guy with the avatar. You know, Litecoin's up a lot today. What did he cause? That ruckus. I don't know. LCX King in Europe. Dash. Welcome back, Mr. Dash. How's Mrs. Dash doing? All right. Mazie bites the data. Everybody's laughing. Tim Shea says, man, Scott is a pain. He just needs to chill a little. Apparently, he watches our show. He just doesn't comment, but I guess he comments when Larry's here. I don't know. I think I've seen him. Yeah, you know what? He's commented in the recorded videos. You know, he like gives us props and stuff, but he's a pain. He just needs to chill a little. Did he do something here? Because if he does anything, I can't see that. You know what I mean? That's sometimes like if somebody's doing something stupid in the chat, like I don't know if you guys know it, but like once it gets over to StreamYard, like on YouTube, everybody sees it, but once it gets over to me on StreamYard, I can't see it. Like it might say like, you know, message retract or something like that. Actually, it doesn't even say that. It just doesn't say anything. I would have to check the other screen. So did he do something here, or is it just on 2Bits, or I don't know. You guys I'll have to go through more of the comments. But he's a pain. He needs to chill a little. Well, that sucks. I mean, if he gets too out of line, I mean, you guys are welcome to do what you got to do. Scott is a tool. So he did do something here? Maybe I'm lost. I don't know. Scott, I'm thinking you're talking about Scott Hill, right? The guy watches our show. The guy that originally gave Larry crap because I guess like he doesn't do the same type of show that I do or something. I don't know. Am I missing something? Like he just did on 2Bit stream? I don't know. Is he here? Was he here earlier? Did I miss something? All right. Well, sorry that Scott caused you guys some problems. All right, Triple C, it was a lot of ruckus. The mods were about to stone him. Really? Doesn't 2Bit do a show at like 1 o'clock? I mean, hold on a second. I think his show comes on at like 1 o'clock my time, so that'd be like 4 o'clock your guys' time. We do a show at 9 Eastern, so okay, 9 Eastern, 4. So basically, his show is like what, 5 hours before ours, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 5 hours before ours. So he's causing a ruckus 5 hours before our show, huh? I was talking down on Bleez. Well, nothing against Bleez, but I mean, you know, he's kind of brought a lot of flack towards his way, but you know, I'm not going to go after him. But he was going after him, huh? All right. All right. Bleez was talking. Well, Bleez was all about talking down BitBoy. Now he's in bed with him. As the saying goes, you can't beat him, join him. I mean, technically, there's what's his face. You know who he is, and I like the guy. He's a good guy, but you know, Remember, you know who was talking down about Volt for a long time, and then he joined them, and then I don't know, either they got rid of him or he left. I don't know, but he's still a good guy. I mean, I can't speak for other content creators. They're going to do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we go about things differently here, but I'm not going to go after any content creators. It's kind of like the bro code that Larry wants us to do, and I don't know. I can respect that. So. All right, Michael, I believe they use a term swinging on his. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna read a few more, and then that's it. Bright out Tim, 100% that crossed the line for sure. Did I miss Tim's comment? Hold on. GS, he shouldn't have been harassing Bree. Man, I am. What the hell happened? There's some drama that happened. I don't know. We should talk about drama, but that's pretty messed up. Bree watches this show. Bree, what's her last name? Hopefully I'm pronouncing this wrong. She's watching it right now. Jordano or something like that. Nice lady. So Scott Hill was harassing her? That's messed up. Oh, now I'm starting to learn what you guys are talking about. Tim 100% cross the line for sure. So obviously some drama happened earlier today on 2-Bit. Maybe I should go back and watch 2-Bit show. Now you got me wondering, should I go back and watch that show too? Yeah, they got what the hell happened, man? That's kind of messed up. Just a comment. That is messed up. I mean, nobody wants, talking crap and stuff. That's crazy. I will read some of this. 2-Bit was chill. His moms did the dirty work. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, even right now, like, I was thinking you guys were talking about, like, maybe he came in here and did something. Like, you can't see that on StreamYard. He doesn't show up. Like, the only time I can see it is, like, right now I'm going to go to, watch this. I'm going to go to the other screen. And now I can see the last comments on the other screen. Like, here's one. Brian out. Nervous might not be the best way to say it, but you know what I mean. Boomer after sooner. There's like 18 billion Hbar and stuff. Not the same boat, but we'll get back to crypto. We don't want to talk about some of the drama stuff. I mean, shout out to Rodney. He does cover all the drama, right? I mean, that's his platform. That's okay. I like Rodney. He's a good guy. I do watch the show. Every now and then I'll comment. He'll say what's up. He's a good guy. All right. So on. All right. Nothing wrong, screwing around, but you can't call people out or attack them. You know what? Now you guys got me in straight. I'm gonna start, I'll have to watch a replay of that. That's crazy. He really caused a lot of drama. All right, who's Bit Boys? Jeez. Maybe Larry would read this stuff. That's okay. All right, Frankie Candles. You know what? I know he gets criticism, Frankie Candles, but he is actually pretty good with the TNA. I mean, I give credit where credit's due. All right. I'm going to kick it back into the stuff here because, I mean, our show is unofficially turning into Rodney's stream. No offense to Rodney. He's a good guy. All right. I'm going to kick it back to the crypto stuff. My God. Well, I at least know this. I'll try to tune into 2-Bit's live replay. I guess that's what we call it, live replay, and see what the heck you guys are talking about. That's pretty messed up, though. Harassing Bree? You should be harassing any lady. They're the lady for a reason, right? We protect our women. Anyway, they'll be like somebody coming in here harassing April Cornwell or Brittany. Like, we're not going to stand for that. We're going to fight the powers that be. All right, let's jump back into our outline. And it is the one and only Hedera Hbar. Max, are you going to talk about it or what? I got to get going. Okay. I get what you're saying. 42 wonderful, beautiful people. Please smash that like. Maybe we could tick up to 50. That'd be cool. All right. So shout out to the one and only Mason vs. Louise. And just to give the one and only Mike Cornwell, paging Dr. Green Thumb. Hello, Mike Cornwell, paging Elon Muff. Remember earlier you're like Elon Musk and SpaceX, we're talking about Stellar. The same guy that reported this was Mason versus Louise. Give him a follow. He's got another update. So with that said, I messed it up. I was going to do the breaking news little video, but it's okay. So yes, breaking. Let's jump into this. Mason versus Louise reports that PayPal crypto patent mentioned specifically, and this is bullish as all hell, right? Hbar patent is for, quote, use of biometrics in crypto key creation for a digital signatures. I want to state this. I'm going to give a little bit of credit. I'm going to throw this little tidbit into it as well. Are we all on the same page by this point when it comes to biometrics on blockchain? I mean, if we're into Jasmy, we understand how big that is. What about Hbar? Well, let's talk about it. This is huge. The amount of secret little connections Hedera has, like, this is insane. Like freaking Cypress Hill, right? Insane in the membrane. You insane. Got no brain. All credit to IOV Owl for the find. That's a crazy looking thing. Maybe he's from Bohemian Grove or something. I don't know. Maybe you'll find Mr. Alex Jones out there or something. I don't know. All right, let's jump into this. And if anything, I'll try to blow this up a little bit bigger for you can see it, especially if you're nice and comfy on your wonderful, comfy couch like Boomer F and Sooner. He's taking a screenshot. He shows his lovely dog, and he watches the CTN and so on. So here it is, and here's what is blown up. Utilization of biometrics and creation of secure key or digital signature. Here's an abstract. Novel technical ways of facilitating secured execution of blockchain transactions are presented in various embodiments. A system comprising a processor and a non-transitionary computer-readable medium have stored Theron computer executable instructions. Oh my God, Max, you're going to really read all this? Yes. I don't even do it in nerd voice. That are executable by the processor to cause the processor to perform operations comprising of receiving a set of biometric identifiers. In response to receiving the set of biometric identifiers, validating the set of biometric identifiers in response to validating the set of biometric identifiers, encoding and using a synthesizer, the set of biometric identifiers with the digital key to generate a multi-factor signature, and causing a blockchain transaction to be executed using the multi-factor signature. Oh my God, I might get my Eagle Scout badge. Yes, I just read that. I can't believe I did that, but I did that. Now, scooting things over, look what's referenced here. You have other, like it says, it's French. You have this inventor, a few of them, right? Worldwide applications. And boom, can you just give us the juicy stuff, Max? I don't need to hear your stupid nerd voice. Okay. Well, oh my God, I might not get my Eagle Scout badge. All right. So with that said, 12/6/2022. And here it is, application PCT/US2022/051953 events. Prior to claim from, that reference, application filed by PayPal Inc. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. At least I think so. You may not think so. Maybe like, whatever, Wait until Elon Musk comes back into the mix and, scratches that long-awaited itch that needs to be scratched by, coming up with something way better than PayPal. Everybody's waiting for that. Let's just be honest. Everybody's waiting for that. How soon it happens, I don't know. But I think it's an itch that he's still wanting to scratch, right? Right. Let's jump to the next page. And I'll show you this in a bit. Just going to double check some settings. All right. So on this one, let's blow this up. Hopefully it shows it. Yes, it does. All right. So this one, a little bit more. It says, while a vast majority of crypto wallet applications are used to store cryptocurrencies, it says, for example, like, Hbar, Ethereum, and so on, the software can also store digital keys to fungible and non-fungible digital tokens. I'm going to read all this, but you get it. Boom, Hbar. Now, there's a little bit more in regards to this because it is huge, very, very, very huge, right? And that basically is, like it says here. Let me jump back into this. This guy named King Solomon. Let me jump back. There it is. Says the other patent he found is better. Tweeted it right after this one. I don't know if I have that, but I mean, this is still very, very impressive. This other guy says, is Hedera only mentioned in the context of providing an example because that example seems trivia? I don't think it's trivia. I don't have the other guy's tweet, but I don't know. It's worth pointing out. We're gonna get into a little bit more. You might feel as though this is even more bullish. Teach his own, right? This is straight from the horse's mouth. This comes straight from. Why is it not sharing this? Oh, it is. Okay, the screen looks different. So this comes straight from Hedera. And like it says, it's all started with a vision of how the internet could work, which required technology that simply did not exist. Then came Hashgraph. Then came Hedera. That vision is now being realized, but our story has only just begun. They, of course, posted this on June 1st, but you know what? A lot of you guys didn't see this official video because a lot of times we just go on crypto Twitter, we see what's tagged, but this is cool. If you've seen it, great. It's not that long of a video, but there's a lot more, and we're going to get into that as well. Hedera definitely highlights some of our key findings for today's show. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Please smash that like. Here we go.
It started with a vision for how the internet should work, how it could work.
It really should be possible for anyone to just kind of wave their hand and carve out a piece of cyberspace and create a world of their own.
But the technology to achieve such a vision simply did not exist.
There's no way that you can have really high throughput and also have all these security and fairness properties. I was able to convince myself it's not possible. And I set it aside, and it would come back and haunt me, and it would keep nagging at me. And so I would pick it up again and set it aside again. And this kept going for years.
3 years later, Lehman had a breakthrough, the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. In 2015, Mance and Lehman founded Swirls to battle test the algorithm in private permissioned environments. And the following year, Lehman published the technical paper. But in order to realize the vision of a fairer, more secure digital future for all, the world needed a trust layer, a public ledger built on Hashgraph.
Okay, it looks like we are down to the final seconds here.
3, 2, 1. Open access.
The network is open. As of this moment, we have council member nodes online, ready to take transactions from anyone, anywhere in the world.
Since open access, Hedera has witnessed exponential growth on the network, with billions of real-world transactions, hundreds of applications, and tens of thousands of ecosystem developers. The Hedera Council has gone from strength to strength, growing to 29 members on 6 continents, stewarding the network responsibly and ensuring its longevity for generations to come. Hello, future.
Hello, future. Hello, governor. Hello, crypto puppet. All right. Now, few more comments, then we'll get back into a little bit more of the Hedera Hbar news we have for you. And it's regards to a report from Legion. And basically speaking, it's definitely worth noting. And I'll give you an example why. But before we get into that, we're going to get into the comments. So, where are we at? Bing bong. Tim Shea says Scott likes Muff. Oh, Elon Muff. Oh, Mike Cornwell. Oh, okay. Well, who doesn't like Mike Cornwell? I get what you're saying. I was like, Scott likes, but well, who doesn't like? All right, I'll keep it clean. You know what I'm saying. Boomer 100%. Scott who? Scott Hill. Man, you guys are talking a lot about this Scott Hill guy. I know he watches our show. Like he said that like basically I don't know, not to toot my own horn, that supposedly like I guess when I'm on he listens or something. I don't know. And when Larry's on, he's all chatty. But that sucks that he went to 2 bits and I guess caused a ruckus, like you guys said. Great Scott. Yeah, great Scott. Scotty from Star Trek. He brought all those viewers from that school. I have no idea what you're talking about. What is that? Like here? 2-bit? I have no idea. Elon Musk. Oh, that dude. Oh, yeah. What did he do? What, he just drop a bomb over there? You guys talk like there's more news about this guy than there is our news. I gotta check that out. All right. Oh, is that who that was? I forgot his name. Okay, typo. Effort tried to say he was in the Navy. I don't know. I mean, it's you know how it goes sometimes. I mean, some people, who knows, man. That Scott, man, you guys talk about this guy a lot. I don't know. He watches the show. I mean, I'm thankful for everybody watches the show. I'm not thankful for people causing drama though. I don't know. I'll have to keep going through the comments. Did he cause any drama here, like on our show, just like now or earlier? And I didn't see it because of StreamYard. Anyway. The Ghost, good Jasmine info earlier today. Thanks, Ghost. Appreciate that. I've been wanting to do that for a while, but real life got in the way, you know. And I kind of felt bad because it's like, dang, man, you know, it's like, you know, my goal was I was trying to get like a Jasmine video out just about every day, you know, to be that type of guy. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like Mr. Elon Musk knows there's some new things I want to work on and so on, and it's been extremely stressful last few days. And I hate making excuses, but it's been tough. I mean, like, as you guys know, I ended the stream. I mean, it was a decent show. It was a long, you know, like a reasonably, well, I don't know, was it like almost 2 hours? Maybe it was 2 hours. I don't know. But I had to end it abruptly instead of like, you know, reading some comments and, you know, thanking you guys and so on, because I did have an emergency. And, you know, basically speaking, it's just like, I'm looking at the clock and then, you know, it's just like, God, it's like, I think it was like 9:30. Larry called me at 10:30 at night, my time, to see if everything was okay. And then I'm looking at the clock, and then next thing you know, I must just tell my dad, I'm like, Dad, do you realize what time it is? You know, I just can't spend every day like this, man. You know, it's just like 9 hours just went by like nothing. And I should say went by. It was a horrible day. I'm glad that April Cornwall had a good day, because not trying to downplay it, but I had like, that was probably one of the worst days of my life. I'm not gonna even joke around. It was horrible. I hope I don't have to experience that again. And I hope that my dad's getting some good rest and so on. But it sucks when your parents get really, really old, you know. I mean, it's a blessing because, you know, let's face it, like, you know, I talk about like those who served, you know, like no matter what war it was, right? You know, Vietnam, Korea, you name it, guys in Iraq, whatever, right? Afghanistan, World War II, you know, it's like, what was it, June 6, 1944? June 6, 2023, that was the 79th anniversary of the D-Day landings. Can you believe that next year would be the big 80? So it's like, I think if a person served in the Normandy invasion, basically, they would be at least 97 years old. If they were 18, didn't lie about their age. Oh my God, right? So my thing is, a lot of those guys died, and they didn't get to have families and live to be old and all that stuff. So I am thankful in that regard. It's just, I'm sure you guys are aware, if you live through it yourself, it's extremely hard to want to focus on your own life and your own aspirations and wanting to accomplish certain new things and so on, when like you are the guy who has to, you got to help your loved one. My dad is my loved one, right? He's the only family I got in Arizona, and I can't just I can't just like abandon him or anything. I got to help him out, and he was in dire help last night, and you know, I was thinking I'll just call like an ambulance or something and have him go to the hospital. You don't want to go to the hospital. You just needed my help. And it was extremely time consuming, and maybe I shouldn't talk about it anymore. Maybe people get tired of being mentioned this stuff, so it is what it is. All right, what's going on here? Yes, River Space Karen left Bob's channel. He is no longer a mod. I don't even know who these people are. Sorry. All right, Brian Dowie Boomer. I think he was a captain or something. Definitely big in the Navy. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of lost on this. Sorry. Brian, I'm sure Scott swabbed a lot of decks. What the heck? All right, let's go further down. I was an F-18 aviation man. Really? For real? Like, was it the regular F-18? Either way, it's cool, but or is it Super Hornet? You know, my dad, when we used to go to air shows, he used to teach me as a kid the difference between like the modern jets. This was back in like the 1980s. So he'd always say, you know what, son, the easy way to, you know, he's like, tell me what an F-16 is. Like, you'd always base it on the back wing. I'd be like, it's just one straight like that. And he was like, all right. He's like, all right, show me what an F-15 is. And I'd be like, all right, well, it's two on the back. And he'd be like, all right, show me what an F-18 is. And I go like this, you know, as a kid. And then he was like, all right, tell me what F-14 is. And I go like this. And he's like, I tricked you. They both have the same type of thing in the back. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, but you know what? The F-14 Tomcat has two air scoops underneath the two, and they look a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller plane. He's just like, oh, you've been paying attention. But anyway, we used to go to all the air shows, watch like in Oregon, they got some pretty good air shows, man. Anyway. But yeah, I got to see a few cool ones. Like one of my favorites is a P-38 Lightning. Dick Bong, right? He's the ace of aces for the Americans. 40 confirmed kills. We also saw of course the F-4U Corsair. You know, we saw a whole bunch of stuff, man. I got to go up in the B-17. I don't know. I miss those days. Those are precious times. I really look forward to seeing all that stuff. When I was a kid, apparently, I don't remember. I guess I didn't get to go to because I was at my grandparents' house. But my dad went to air show. Check this out. So in the early 1980s, I'm sure you guys, Boomer F and Soon, I know this speaks to you because you mentioned that you're a big fan of the show, and I own all the seasons of this. You know, there's only 2 seasons. So Baba Black Sheep, aka Black Sheep Squadron, starring Robert Conrad, right? My dad actually got to meet Pappy Boyington, like I think 4 or 5 years before he passed away in 1988, which is cool. And he's got one of his books, but anyway. All right, let's just read a couple more comments. I promise to get back into crypto. Brian Ellie says, Max, you definitely look like Ice Cube. I guess I read that a while back. I'm not complaining. I could look like worse people out there, right? You know? Yeah. All right. So let's highlight that. Appreciate that. All right. And let's jump into this next part of Hedera Hbar. All right. So here we go. Let's present this. And basically speaking, it's this right here. It's referred to as Legion. And I'll come back into the frame. Now, why pay attention to this? Well, it says at Collision HQ 2023. And if you're wondering what Collision is, it says it's the Olympics of Tech. Did you know that? Like Olympics of Tech? That sounds pretty bullish, right? So the Olympics of Tech, according to Politico. Some people don't like Politico. I get that too. Join us in Toronto. Hey, man. Brian Dowdy, this is right up your alley, bro. On June 26th through the 29th, which is already happened. We missed it. Anyway, at Collision 2023, Kuzi presents the concept of Legion. Listen to this. Legion is a new social media platform that's built on Hedera. Now, here's a key thing, okay? Hear me out. Pay attention to this part. Seriously, pay attention to this part. So, for one, this is Hedera. New social media platform that's built on Hedera. Now, where am I going with this? I'll show you where I'm going with this. Boom. This right here. Remember how we talked about DESO, the decentralized social media? Some of you guys are invested in DESO, are you not? There's that little, you know, I shouldn't even say it's brief. That's quite the deep dive. People are really happy that I covered that. And I didn't even realize it went up to 1,800 views. I had to check out like how many subs I got because every now and then I'll do like a deep dive on something you guys request. And then at first, like it doesn't get much views. And out of nowhere, it's like, hey man, it's got some pretty decent views and a bunch of new subs. So Brian Dowie wanted me to like do it like an intro / deep dive into Velo. And at first I got like 25 or 50 views for the whole day. And then out of nowhere, like, boom, 2,000 views, 50 subs. That's pretty good numbers for the size of our channel. Here's another one, right? So DESO, decentralized social media. That was a deep dive. Now, why mention this? Well, again, the reason why we mention this is because it's Hedera, and we look at Hedera, at least I do, as being a blue chip, right? Being part of the QFS, Quantum Financial System, and definitely being part of the utility run of the future. So if they got this thing called Legion, a new social media platform that's built on Hedera, I want to know about that. If I'm paying attention to Deso, and no, I don't mean any disrespect, or I'm not downplaying Deso. But if I'm like, that looked impressive, how about something that's actually built on Hedera? This is 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's play this. Let's pay attention to this. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kuzey, and I'm the director of AE Labs. At AE Labs, we have many different projects, one of them being Legion, and that's what I'm presenting today. Legion is a new social media platform that is built on Hedera. For example, Instagram and Twitter, they collect your data and sell it to advertisers, and that's their business model. There won't be any of this on Legion. We will have no ads or no trackers. Instead, we will charge our customers per message, and that cost will be 0.0001 cents. And we're able to achieve this because of Hedera's very low fees. If we were to build this platform on another blockchain like Ethereum, each message would cost about $3 or $5, which is not a scalable option. And we want everyone to use this platform all around the world at an affordable rate and inclusive. Aside from the social aspects of this platform, Legion will include a built-in Hedera wallet where you can store your Hedera-based cryptocurrencies, NFTs, as well as access Web3 applications. Legion is secure and private.
All right, so this is like a brief taste about Legion, okay? And secure, private. I mean, all these things sound pretty darn impressive, and built on Hedera. In the poster, and let me just actually pull this back up again. I should say poster, the billboard, whatever you want to refer to it, right? I'll come back in the frame. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see this. So behind this guy, it says AE Labs. Legion is a social network where anyone can freely chat and socialize without compromising their privacy using the public ledger Hedera. I mean, to a sense, it's kind of like, Jasmine's personal data lockers meets, Facebook Messenger, but like decentralized, right? Are we too far off here? No, we're not. What kind of value does that have? Is that worth paying attention to? Well, the beautiful thing about owning, Hedera's Hbar is you have, you're blanketed into all this ecosystem of all these different projects and so on. You don't have to, specifically get into a separate thing, right? This is something that's built apparently on Hedera. That's big. I want to find out what the heck this is and so on. Could this blossom to a bigger and better thing? Quite possibly, right? So this was one of the things that was highlighted in Toronto, Canada at that particular, Collision HQ.
Good morning.
And if anything, I mean, I didn't know that was going on. I mean, maybe Brian Dowdy didn't realize it was going on, but that's okay. I mean, probably is an expensive event. I mean, we know that some of these events, especially like for Ripple in Vegas, that's really expensive. But the key thing is, like, I saw this and I said, you know what? This totally reminds me of Deso to a sense, but built on Hedera. People seem like they're very excited about it, amazing job, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Thought I'd bring it to you guys' attention. There's a little bit more that we have in regards to Hedera. Let's jump into this next part of what we have. This comes straight from the Hedera, Hbar Foundation. Pretty big following, 75,000 followers roughly. And it says, dropping our new teaser video. This was reported 13 hours ago. And it's in regards to a project called Neuron. And you may be thinking, well, I know about that. I saw that a while back. No, I think this is a little bit different. Maybe you have, but basically speaking, like it shows right here, they're building a public Internet of Things ecosystem for businesses. And, when we talk, for instance, like Jasmine, we talk about the Internet of Things. There's a lot of other projects, other blockchains and so on that do the Internet of Things. So, this is, like it says, they're dropping this new teaser video. They would love to hear your feedback. If you choose to go on crypto Twitter and, post, most of you guys probably won't. It's okay. So, big shout out to Gadian Drapak as we're putting this together. This is only a minute. Let's see what this new project is. Neuron. Here we go.
Artificial intelligence is already performing magic, driving cars, creating art, and diagnosing patients. All of this with limited connectivity to the world. Imagine a future where it had access to the planet's entire bandwidth of IoT resources, connected vehicles, weather sensors, EV chargers, drones, all connected, all sharing, all understanding. Centralization poses risks. It will inevitably lead to control. Control will lead to inefficiency and censorship. We know there's a better way. Neuron is creating a decentralized trust layer, connecting applications to the planet's entire bandwidth of IoT resources to exchange value peer-to-peer in a trusted manner. Sell your electric vehicle's data to pay for its charging. Sell your unused Wi-Fi bandwidth to access public Wi-Fi anywhere. Connect a flight tracking sensor to pay for your drone delivery. The mission is to build a public Internet of Things ecosystem where anyone can contribute and connections are valued.
All right, so two new, well, maybe one out of two new, but nonetheless, new updates from Hedera. Who doesn't like that? I'm glad to share that with you guys. So we got into that, Neuron, Legion as well. We're going to share some other things, but come on, guys. I mean, if we're talking about DESO, decentralized social media, why aren't we talking about Legion? Why aren't we talking about some of these other ones, right? On top of that, we have a little bit more. And let's see what it is. Yes, it is in regards to Hedera. I think this might be the last part of the Hedera. It is. And then we'll jump back into the comments because I know, shout out to Sean the Crypto Smith, I think is in the house. It's like sometimes you get an hour behind on the chat. So I'm going to jump into this. And, we were talking about regulations and stuff like that earlier. The Jasmine video for the day, we definitely talk about regulations. We talk about DFFT. We talk about, was it APPI, right? Japan's version of, HEPA, if you know about, for instance, the medical industry, HEPA laws, so on. So what about, again, Hedera being part of the mix as far as the discussion about, regulations and so on? Well, I would want to know about that. Yes, absolutely. So special thanks to Carnegie Mellon. Who doesn't know about Carnegie Mellon University? I mean, yeah, they're not Ivy League, but man, they're, in my book, they're just, as far up there as the next university. And Scilab, check out these guys. It's also part of like the umbrella of Carnegie Mellon Security and Privacy Institute. 300 plus researchers who are passionate about creating a world in which technology can be trusted. It says, they give a special thanks for these guys being, invited by Hedera co-founder, which is the great Dr. Lehman Baird, right? To participate in their policy panel. Again, we're talking about regulations and things like that. What about some of the policies? Says discussions earlier this month at the Secure Blockchain Summit, bringing together experts to share their insight on Web3. All right. So is this even worth, looking into? Or is Max going to give everybody a nothing burger? No, I'm not going to give you a nothing burger. So let's pull this up. And as we do so, it's going to take us to this. And this is straight from, the Carnegie Mellon Scilabs, right? So it states, and of course, this is on June 12th, but, it was recently referenced. Sometimes people just, they don't exactly get every bit of news on the first day, but it was new as far as crypto Twitter is concerned. CMU brings together experts from, let me just double check I'm not muted because that would suck. I'm not. But yeah, brings experts from academia and industry during inaugural Secure Blockchain Summit. This is posted by Ryan Noon, or if you're like one of my gamer friends, Ryan No One. I know, sorry, I had to do it. All right, CMU's Secure Blockchain Summit, and it says it from the 8th to the 9th, but there's some key highlights, okay? So one of the things I want to show you guys right here is that this particular university and their privacy institute hosted the university's first ever Secure Blockchain Summit, and that brought together experts from around the world to share their research and discuss the future of technology and its implications. Of course, it was a 2-day event, But getting further down into it, they talk about, for instance, cryptonomics. Now, we talk about tokenomics, for instance, right? So the event began with a keynote talk from MIT's Elizabeth, no, not Elizabeth Warren, and how dare anybody include Elizabeth Warren into the talk of anything MIT related, let's just be honest, but Elizabeth and James Killian, professor of economics, Robert M. Townsend, who presented, quote, innovative financial designs using the new technologies, 2 key examples of more generational considerations. Townsend's talk focused on the blueprints, listen to this, for designing financial systems using new technology tools in combination with economic theory. I want to state this before we play this, and that basically is this. Yes, I'm a guy that always is going to talk your guys' head off about QNT. At the same time, while I'm very impressed about Gilbert Verdian and Martin Hargreaves, and especially Gilbert Verdian when it comes to how well connected he is, I've always recognized, you know, when I finally learned more about Hedera, that Dr. Lehman Baird, for crying out loud, is probably like the smartest guy in all of, you know, DLT, because in reality, Hedera's hash graph is not a blockchain, right? It's a, you know, the hash graph consensus algorithm is a different protocol. Okay, so innovative financial designs using the new technologies, 2 key examples and general considerations by Robert M. Townsend. Now, let's take a look into this for a second. Let's blow this up and let's play this. I'm going to play all of it. Here we go. It was playing earlier today. What happened? Oh my gosh, really?
Thank you very much.
All right.
Very generous introduction.
And no, it will not allow me to make it bigger. Or will it? Hold on. Ah, it will. Okay. My bad. When I present on StreamYard, it just looks a little bit different. All right. Let me just play this. It's going to take a little bit of a delay because, okay. But here we go.
Thank you very much. Very generous introduction. I was wandering around, jogging around the campus this morning. There's hardly anything similar to when I was here. It's really quite amazing what's happening. So title kind of speaks for itself. I'm going to focus on 2 examples, but get to more general considerations and ongoing research. So we've got these new tools, and armed with economic theory, we can start thinking about optimized financial design. So when I talk about these new tools, I mean common ledgers with participant accounts, e-transfer, e-money, programmability as in smart contracts, and encryption to protect the right information, but create the right incentives. So then the question is, okay, we have the tools. How do we use these tools in optimized financial design? And I'm going to feature today using them with economic theory. So subtitles there are contract theory, mechanism design, market design, monetary theory, and IO, all of which are surprisingly relevant to today's discussions, despite the dates on some of these papers, as you will see along the way. So I'm going to feature these 2 key examples: cross-border exchange and contracting platform, which is in some sense at the global level, as in an IMF proposal. And second example is central bank digital currency as public good programmable infrastructure, as in Brazil's planned digital real. And then the last couple of slides are about the more general topic: optimized financial designs for other economic applications, the considerations raised with implications for technology. So technology and economics are going to be intertwined, going back and forth throughout many of the slides. So first section is this IMF proposed exchange and contracting platform, with you can see co-authors there. And to get you, if you're not aware, up to speed on the so-called cross-border problem, it is widely recognized as a huge problem. Payments are slow, inefficient, quite expensive. The G20, hence at the highest level across countries, has various initiatives and sub-initiatives and building blocks, and just pictures from building block 17, because it's kind of pretty. I put it on there, but more to the point, it's like evidence that these international organization countries are taking this very seriously. So what's the problem? If you go around the outer edge of that circle, you'll see weak competition, complex processing of compliance checks, legacy technology platforms, long transactions chains, funding costs are high, fragmented, and truncated data format. So a few quick facts. The average cost of remittance based on the value being transferred is about, shockingly, 7 to 10%. There are just a handful of currencies that are widely traded with deep markets in international foreign exchange. The core of the system is based on correspondent banking with very large players that extract rents to compensate for not being too opportunistic. It's kind of a euphemism there. Think about it. And via the markups. So how to address the underlying obstacles to trade that are creating that problem in cross-border exchange. Here are some examples. Untrusted messages. In particular, questioned compliance having to do with know your customer. And for you IMF fans who may need a reminder, CFM's capital flow measures in their lingo. The technological solution, domestic certification with public-private cryptography and signatures. Another example, limited commitment. We see fails, third-party risk, settlement risks, and so on. Solution is cryptographic commitments, atomic swaps, automated transfers, including time and state-dependent transfers. Another problem, unobserved states. I'm clicking off these obstacles to trade as we know them from mechanism design. Unobserved states creates financial risk. The technological solution is announced messages with privacy-preserving aggregation and multi-party computation. So we have underlying states on the ledger as unique, even though they're not necessarily all observed due to the cryptography. Uncontrolled undercutting actions, as in front running, the tool there is cryptography again for concealment of variables correlated with the underlying actions, and pre-programmed contracts with automated execution acting on encrypted messages. Okay, so the cross-border XE platform, which will use these tools, is a multi-currency with programmable tokens for each of the currencies on a common ledger. The idea is that each central bank in participating countries allows domestic entities to transfer the fiat money of that country that they hold in central bank reserves to tokens on a one-to-one basis. So there's locked in direct claims to ensure the value of the tokens backed fully by the fiat, essentially through the central bank. So we don't need bilateral claims on the balance sheets of these large multinational entities. Central banks obviously are playing a role. They're not exclusive participants. Each country's central bank is responsible for validating the tokens in that one-to-one exchange back into reserves. And central banks, of course, as a node, are participants on the platform itself. Tokens can be segregated, put into escrow, and locked under the terms of contracts. Contracts are tracked and consistent with each other. They're composable. So we can allow on this exchanging contracting platform, the exchange, as in spot exchanges, also forward exchanges, so it's dynamic, also hedging and risk management, so it can deal with uncertainty, all of this under programmed multilateral contracts. And of course, we do have KYC and certification for the capital control measures. Okay, so let me focus first on the exchange. Spot exchange. is in multi-currency are the objects, exchanging among them. Economic theory provides some immediate lessons, frankly, about what not to do. Designs that don't work well. As a reminder or news, we have Wicksel's triangle. In a static context, agent A, agent I likes good J, but J doesn't like good I. There's not a double coincidence of wants, and so on around the triangle. If you insisted on by a sequence of bilateral exchanges of goods for goods, there would be no trade. It's autarky. It's the worst possible outcome. Another example, Shapley-Shubik. Oh yeah, watch the dates on this. It's 1977. So these are trading posts, and the idea is you pick one commodity, for us, one fiat money among the countries, and use that in exchange for all the other N-1 currencies. So participants pick which post, which bilateral exchange post to go to, and offer to buy or sell in exchange for the currency. And effectively, it's a very early version of AMM clearing with prices proportional to the demands and supplies. I apologize for the typo on that slide. Tried to get it clean at the airport and missed that one. So what happens? If you insist on doing it this way, we know from theory we're going to have a coordination problem in terms of multiple equilibria. We can get very thin liquidity on some of these trading posts, which in turn generates market power and liquidity problems. Sound familiar? Okay, so another quick example of the problem of doing it pairwise in some kind of decentralized way is Ostroy Star. You know, the dates on that, I'll stop saying that, 1974. Agents meet pairwise, they meet over time. The idea is try to achieve a good outcome, which in this case is the outcome associated with a Walrasian equilibrium as if they were all in a centralized market. But they're not, they're meeting pairwise like this. And in particular, if it's decentralized, they would not have necessarily the history of trades of other players with whom they have not had contact or with whom any of the people they have already met have had contact. So there is no way, if it's not recorded, that the information is going to be transmitted. Now you can think of solutions like fiat money. In fact, Ostroy Star had in mind that there could be one currency with which everyone is endowed in sufficient amounts so they can buy whatever they want whenever they meet. In fact, they could be paired in such a way as they only buy early and sell later, and they have to be able to finance that. That takes an enormous amount of liquidity, and all of today's modern systems are designed to try to come up with liquidity savings mechanisms. Other solutions here are having a large trader carrying inventory. Then we're going to be back to the problem of relationships and large traders, or have trade credit, so you don't need the money, you have the credit, but then we're going to raise the issues of third-party defaults and credit risk and so on. The solution is to keep track of the information as if on a common public infrastructure. And there are other centralized solutions have been noted by Klemperer in his product mix auctions, for example. The intuition here is you have a utility function with substitutability across the various currencies. You've got a common budget constraint. And so agents themselves make trade-offs depending on the prices that they confront. And that kind of guides the market to an efficient outcome, but they have to all be trading with one another to accomplish that. Other examples, Dubé and Sonderman, these are limit orders on centralized platforms with a common code. Yes, all of this in principle can be coded. Or you can do this with decentralized broker-dealers. When I talk about language fails me here, when you talk about a common public infrastructure, it kind of conjures up a centralized infrastructure, but it's really common public infrastructure, and the competition on it can be quite decentralized as having broker dealers competing with one another to attract customers. And that also works. In fact, it's going to be necessary to do it that way when we're talking about competition in contracts. So we don't need arbitrage to get where we want to go. We could use the notion of blocking allocations and the core. So back to the application here, which is cross-border, doing it in these common public infrastructure as in centralized platform, we don't need money other than as a unit of account. The objects are money, so a bit confusing. The fiat monies, the tokenized fiat monies are all monies, but we don't need to pick yet another money and use it as a unit of account. We and store value and all of that. We only need a unit of an arbitrary unit of account. We don't need trusted third parties and intermediaries in an equilibrium. Since it's Volrasian, there's no arbitrage across these various currency pairs. And in fact, David Mazieres and co-authors in their design of SpeedX are using this conception of computing, as in computing Volrasian equilibria, to get to the market clearing prices and clear the orders on the order book. We don't need a single hegemonic currency. We can use auctions with privacy, without auctioneers, as in my work with Nicholas Zhang. And we can have encryption for the bids, as in an auction, and so on, including adding up what other people are doing in a concealed way, and homomorphic encryption to implement the trading rules. So I was focusing on static things first, more or less, but just to remind you, the basic notation here of X, XI has a T on it now for time-dated stuff along with endowments. You can put an ST in there for states, and we have state contingent commodities. And this extends to contracts, where XI represents a probabilistic outcome associated with a contract, indexed by theta, which is an unobserved underlying individual state. So the scope of general equilibrium theory is incredibly broad and robust. And that's what makes it really ideal for many of the applications we're going to confront: time, uncertainty, and contracts. As to time, so here's an example: dates, forward contracts as atomic swaps. If you can see the figure here.
I'm so sorry. I had to go help my dad for a brief bit, and I was like, I'll be back in time. You know, I'm going to want to play like about 5 minutes of that. You know, I was just like, oh my God. And then I came back, I was like, oh no. You know, it gets really in depth. I mean, it's very, very educational. It is a lecture. I wasn't trying to give you guys a college lecture, but that is a college lecture. But you may be wondering, why share all this stuff? If you did take the time to pay attention to that, it was very, very educational, because he outlines a few things about, like, you know, the concept of what we were talking about before. You know, it's not like, you know, shout to Sean, by the way. Thank you for being here, Sean. You're probably like, what the heck? But you know, Sean has always mentioned, you know, it's not one to get it done, if you will. This guy outlines some of this. And again, if you're wondering, like, who the heck is this guy? You know, like I always say, you know, Biggie Smalls, who the heck is this? Right? Well, basically speaking, this guy is Robert Townsend. All right. And he is a professor over at Carnegie Mellon University. He knows a thing or two, because he's seen a thing or two. I hate to use that example, but he's written so many things that have been documented, like liquidity saving, no trade fails, written in 2022. He's written like countless books. He's an extremely smart person. He's been guest over at MIT. Anyway, it's just, he's got a long, extensive list of all his accomplishments. And all right, to summarize why I showed you some of this, other than some of this educational stuff, right? Let me take the screen off for a brief moment and jump back to it. And it's basically this, boom, right here. The reason why you got to pay attention to this is because CMU, as in Carnegie Mellon University, inaugural Secure Blockchain Summit was made possible by Psi Labs, sponsors the Algorand Foundation and Ripple. Psi Lab partners can access, of course, additional videos, but that's pretty big, right? Like, sometimes we understand that like Hedera is partnered up with some of these other big players, Ripple and Algorand, but everything he was mentioning, right, when it comes to like was mentioned in that lecture, if you were paying attention, if you weren't, it's okay. Gives you a broader sense of, I guess you could say, like the nitty gritty. I mean, sometimes, especially was it Richard Common Sense Crypto? I think he put out a video earlier today. How like we always talk about XTC being the Ethereum killer. He was talking about Hedera being the Ethereum killer. Well, how about also being partnered with like Ripple, Algorand, and so on? And how about like showing you an actual outline of some of the technical nitty gritty of how it truly isn't just one big player to get the job done, or whether it comes to payment rails or, some of the things that he was mentioning in regards to fiat and so on. So didn't mean for it to go that long. My apologies. I had to take care of something real quick. But I guess it was better than just having dead air, right? Yeah. I'll kick it into the next comment because it says that this comment from Brian Dowie was at 7:08 p.m. and now it's 8:35, so I'm well behind on the comments, to say the least. All right, so let's see how we are doing in regards to some of the comments. This is what Max puts on as a babysitter for us. Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. All right, so I am going to thank Patrick Collier for gifting Sean the Crypto Smith. Was that it? Yeah. I think you gifted it to him, right? Yeah, you gifted the membership from Patrick Collier to Sean the Crypto Smith. That was very, very cool. Cash Cat says it's fire for him doing that. Patrick is the man. I know I'm on the other screen. I'm reading comments basically. Tim Shea's like, who is this guy? And not sure what's going on. I think he might be Vitalik's father. Did I just sign up for a college lecture? Unofficially, yes. GF Burke, that's why you sit in the back. They can't see you sleeping. Right? They can't see you sleeping, goofing off, right? Let's see a little bit more. That's ridiculous. What else we got here? I bet Max put this on and grabbed a sandwich. No. I do need to eat something though. I hardly eat. I didn't even eat yesterday, and then today I ate like a little tiny little muffin thing, and it's not good to do that, man. So it's like I got an unofficial intermittent fasting, if you will, like a non-intended fasting. All right, so called it. This is what Max puts on as babysitter for Larry taught Max this move 100%. Hey, I got a legitimate excuse, right? I mean, his excuse is hot poo Inu. My excuse is, my dad needs my help. You know what I mean? All right, Patrick Collier says, I just want to make a shout out to the BSV boys. Oh, cool. All right, let me get to the bottom of these comments. Just scrolling down. Scroll down. Rahad. God, there's a lot. Oh, where's all these comments? All right. What the heck? Got the Cartman emoji. Like, Naffy, you want to pet my key? All right, Kitty Puss. Yeah. George going to the mayor. I'm gonna be rich. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Naffy, George going to the mayor. I'm gonna be rich. All right. I'm gonna say 9 foo. German 9. Anyway, gas fees are the ETH killer. They are the ETH killer. Sean, it's been moving. All right, Burke, who lives locally, in the town of Mr. Crypto Smith, but they never met because Crypto Smith loves Windows and Burke loves Linux. No, I'm kidding. That's not the reason. It's not dead air. The Mexicans are out here blowing ish up. as they do all month of the 4th. They do the same thing here, man. My next door neighbors are what you're referring to. They're nice people. It's just I don't like where they have their garbage cans and recycling bins set up, because every time the city comes and picks up the garbage, it blows all over my yard and it ticks me off because I have to go out there and pick it up. And I explain to them, like, look, your garbage is all over my freaking yard every time. I'm getting tired of it. And they just look at me like, I'm like, you don't understand what I'm saying. And they're like, all right, well, muchas gracias, senor. Boom. So, yeah, it is what it is. Well, then you should probably study Espanol, Max. Yes, I should. I agree. All right. Patrick Collier says Max or Dab. Back to you. Your chart is killing it this week. ETH is the AOL crypto. We all know. I saw that thing you released. Yeah, it is. It's the dial-up of blockchain. Yes, it is. That's what Larry is into. You've got mail. Oh my gosh. Some people have still stuck with AOL just for they can hear that. Like, come on, man. Get with it. That was Web 1. Sips of water. Yeah. Are we now excited? We got 28 wonderful, beautiful people. Can I? I can't even make my arm fit. I'm gonna smash a. I can't even fit myself on a screen. I mean, I'm on a screen. I'm gonna. Dang it! I can't stretch. Dang it! I'm gonna this way. Damn thing's backwards. I'm gonna smash a hole through this wall. And I can't even put my fist on it. I'm gonna smash this wall, and Caroline's gonna come out if we get 100 likes or something. I don't know, something like that. You miss AOL and dial-up? I don't miss that and that stupid sound. You don't want to know something? True story, right? I didn't even own a 56K modem, man. That would have been an upgrade. You want to know what I had? Tell you what I had. I had a 28.8K modem. I didn't even have a 56K modem. Freaking compact Presario 2600. The worst computer I've ever owned in my life, with a 13-inch NEC monitor with a maximum output of like 800 by 600, I think it was. Thing sucked. And I could only play one video game on it because it didn't have a 3D rendered graphics card, right? It had the only game I could play on it was Commandos Behind Enemy Lines and Commandos Beyond the Call. Those games are fun, by the way. I still play those games once in a while with some of my gaming friends, but anyway. All right. LOL game key. Need some Detroit muscle down there. You Detroit, I'm the D. You better to be the new kid on the block, about to get smacked back to the boondocks. Freaking crypto Jedi. Your nachos ain't your type, so take some real advice and form a group with JG, with the black avatar, who's the opposite of Vanilla Ice. And when I tell you, you better use it. Lakers signing Gabe Vincent away from the Miami Heat. He ain't into that hilly billy music. Trailer trash. Never mind. I'm gonna say that. Anyway, you know that song, how it goes. I don't know why I'm quite quoting 8 Mile. All right, elbow cough. Remember when I used to have that, cough problem, like August or September of last year? And people used to make fun of me because I would cough into my elbow, and then they would do the elbow thing. I think Brian Dowry remembers that. But glad to have Crypto Jedi here. He says nachos gracias. That sounds good. Nacho sounds good. Anything sounds good right now because I haven't eaten like almost 2 days. I ate like a little tiny muffin because it's been a busy. You know what? Something I've actually been. And Mr. Muff, maybe you don't believe this, but it's true. I've been so busy the last couple days that, like, I can't believe that I never took time to just sit and eat like a real proper meal. I need to do that. Heck yeah, let's do this. Absolutely. Bradley Bill in the house, but I think you need to get, you have to have some good role players. You have to have a good bench. Little known fact, before the Suns acquired like Kevin Durant, I was sad that Mikal Bridges left, because the way I looked at it is, finally, from the time of when we went to the NBA Finals in 2021 till the trade, like, Suns were never known for their defense, ever. And Mikal Bridges, man, that guy's an awesome defender. But I'm not a big fan of, I want to be a big fan of DeAndre Ayton, but I will agree with Boomer F and Summer. He's soft, man. Well, another one's soft is your freaking Kevin Durant. I get it. You're still bitter about 2011, and I'd be bitter too. And him leaving to the Golden State Warriors. I get it. But who's the guy to think about all that, when it comes to all the super teams? Everybody puts so much emphasis on blaming Durant, right? In reality, we should be blaming LeBron. He's the one that started all that, right? All right. Yeah, Tim, he helped Miami get to the finals. Solid player. All right. Compact their computers suck. 56, man, that was fast. It was a hell of a lot faster than 28.8. Never forget that. My max download speed, 2.8K kilobytes. For all you guys that know what I'm talking about from back in the day, for kids that complain about only getting 2.8 megabytes per second download. I had 2.8K. It takes 1,000K to make 1 megabyte. I remember, like, basically, all right, well, I'm going to download a video file. All right, I'm going to plug in, I'm going to connect through AOL. I know it sounds horrible. And then I'm going to download this all night long. And then I think I told my mom, I was just like, if you need to use the internet, just try to make sure that, like, my download's done. It might be done by the time you get up. And then, well, if I need to call someone, what if somebody needs to call here? Well, no one's going to call you in the middle of the night. You don't know that. I'm like, oh, that's true. Anyway. Yeah, Compact was garbage. All right, we're going to get into, like, I think the last bit of what we have here in a bit. We talked about some Hedera. Share that professor that you guys are like, what the heck, Max? Yeah, we'll get some Jasmine in a bit. Why did you do Jasmine at the beginning of the show? Because Jasmine always dominates every show, and there were some other things to talk about. Well, I don't like the format. I'm going to complain. We're going to complain to you. I'm going to complain to Larry. Why would you complain to Larry if he's the guy that you're complaining about originally? I don't know. I'm going to go watch Crypto Smith. Well, then you go watch Crypto Smith. I already did it. I watched Crypto Smith, and I watched you at the same time that Crypto Smith was doing the freaking AMA with Konatori. Oh, really? That's nice to know. I went to Crypto Smith and dropped a comment in there and said, support to my fellow brother. Yeah, I did the same two thing, Max, but you wouldn't let me freaking comment anything because you won't talk about back scratcher Inu. All right, sorry. My bad. I'm going on a tangent. You're going to send Detroit hat, Max? Oh, boy. Then I really will be Filipino Ice Cube, huh? I'll be like, I don't know, man. This kind of hat looks kind of odd. No Barca from the dog, no smog. And Tim Shake cooked a breakfast with no hog. Max on that muffin. Oh, boy. You don't want to picture that, but I mean, we're all guys. I mean, we all need it once in a while, right? Maybe more often than other times, but I don't want to get into this conversation. All right. Brian Dowie, cool cat. You had Robinson, the got gifted Duncan. That W kid looks. Oh, yeah. Well, that's awesome that they drafted him. You don't want to know how tall he is? 7'5". I mean, he's obviously going to have to get some more meat on his bones, but 7'5", and he's already got like a lot of experience playing in EuroLeague and all that, right? Well, I mean, and Spurs have always done a really great job of recruiting international stars who blossom into all-stars or superstars or you name it. I mean, if I was Cool Cat, I'd be more than proud. I'd be like, that's right. But, Spurs have always been the Suns. Like, you guys were always our biggest rival back in, like, early 2000s, mid 2000s. Sorry to say, Cool Cat. Freaking Robert freaking Horry. Not a single Suns fan will ever forget that crap that was pulled on us. All right. Max, the real muffin man. You guys know that about the song? I am the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. I am the Muffin Man, the Filipino Ice Cube. I am the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. I wear the freaking blue because that's what I do. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I know the compact you speak of. You went to Radio Shack and signed up for AOL and got it for $1. No, worse than that. I'll tell you the true story of what happened with there. So I said to my dad, Dad, we really need to have a family computer. Son, you don't need that crap. Well, I need that crap, Dad. No, you don't. Well, can we at least check out some specials down at Circus City? Remember Circus City? So we go down to Circus City. Okay, hear me out. And this guy, we're describing what kind of computer we want. Keep in mind, we brought my uncle with me. And, I love my uncle, but he's by far, if you ever seen Three's Company, this guy is literally the combination of Mr. Furley and Mr. Roper into a human being when it comes to his cheapness. He's like if this was blockchain, he'd be like the Mr. Roper of crypto or something. I mean, he's the cheapest guy in the world. He's worth $15 million right now, by the way. And he still is as cheap as he ever was. I don't know why. He's just extremely cheap. So we go there. I explain what even my mom, what we would like to have and so on. So then my uncle talks to the salesman there, and the salesman does try to give us one of these specials you're talking about for $1, $199. And then he's just like, come on, you got to have something better and so on. And then he even says to the guy, you got anything used? And the guy's like, no. I tell you what I can do. He says, I have a computer I'm selling. And it's a compact Presario 22 or 2600. And all right, how much you want for it? I'll sell it to you for $100. Now it seems like that's a great deal, right? But anybody who knows anything about anything knows that the compact Presario 2600 is not even worth $100. It's not even worth $25. It's not worth anything. It's a piece of freaking crap. Just don't buy top round meat. How many times have I said it? Anybody remember me saying this? I said this many times. Don't buy top round meat. It is the worst cut of meat. I won't even buy it if it's 10 cents a pound. I won't even buy it if they're giving it away. Oh, here's some free meat. Top round meat just doesn't taste right. It just don't taste right. I don't care what you do. Oh, you're just not cooking it right, Max. I tried everything. It don't taste right. It does not. I like eye round. That ain't bad. But top round, I don't care what it is. It's just cheap. It don't taste good. So anyway, got this $100 cheap computer. Can't play any 3D games. My friends are telling me, you can't even play Counter-Strike. I don't get to play Counter-Strike because you can't upgrade the freaking video card on this thing. You can't do squat. It's non-customizable. And it's got 28.8K modem. And guess what it also has after the OS is installed? A 1.5 gigabyte hard drive. Oh, save it for the choir, Max. I remember Commodore 64. You don't want to know something? A lot of people enjoy their Commodore 64s at the time. Did they not? I did not enjoy my I didn't enjoy my compact Presario 2600 that only allowed me to play Commandos Behind Enemy Lines and Commandos Beyond the Call of Duty. It was freaking ridiculous. All right, enough about that rant. Comp USA free seat. I remember that place. Yep, I bought some games from Comp USA. If you AOL, how many times we do that? Oh God, yeah. Avocado. Never heard of you. That's a cool looking avatar, man. I like that. The avocado with that's cool stuff, man. I like that. I love me some avocado, man. I'm telling you flat out. I go down to this place. I call it Mexico City because basically it's a Mexican grocery store. And they have avocados for $4 and it says limit 8. Who the heck puts a limit of 8? So what I do is I get 2 bags and I ring it up separate and I get my 16 avocados. Anyway, that and yeah. It was a nice little senorita named Maria who allows me to do it. But she said, typically speaking, you cannot do that. I mean, store policy. I'm like, all right. Well, thank you, Maria. Anyway. Hey, Max, love the show. Would be great if you could break down short-term, mid-term, long-term holds. What type of projects you would put into each and how you would identify sell time for short to mid. Give me a second. I'm going to hit a print screen on that because you know what? I was actually kind of thinking about venturing off into other ways of doing videos. So actually, I'm going to crop the image of the screenshot, and I'm going to do a video at some point about this. I got so many videos I got to do. Let's be honest. You know, render. I got to do some other things. But hold on. Avocado. That's what I'm going to call it. All right. I'm not going to do it on the live show, but I'm going to keep that in mind for a deep dive video, right, where I talk about some of this. Because, I mean, I think some people want to, and I want to give a shout out to Crypto John. He does an excellent job on, like, for instance, like, here's my top 5, here's my top 10, here's the reasons why, and so on. So, if anything, I could do something like that from my own perspective. I like that. Let's welcome the one, the only Avocado, and that is a great looking custom avatar. See, when I tell people, you know, consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. Here's a perfect example of that. He even has a custom avatar. Like, you could tell that, I don't know, maybe you got it from someplace. And maybe you're on a high, like a cardio diet where you eat lots of avocado. I don't know. Avocado is good for you. It's a good fat. You know, you got your omega-3s and so on. I tell you how I like it, which is probably not the right way if you're on a diet. So I love taking a nice, fresh avocado that's been chilled for a bit. And what I like to do is I like to place it on a saltine cracker and just put a little bit of salt on it. So good. My buddy, Mike Wool, who shows up here once in a while, he makes the best guacamole in the world. I have never had better guacamole than his. I don't know what the heck he puts in it. I got to ask him again what he puts in it, but it's just out of this world guacamole. I do not like tomatoes in my guacamole. I don't like tomatoes in much of anything, really. I don't mind a slice of tomato, I guess you could say, on my hamburger, but I do not like, for instance, like you go to Olive Garden and you order, like, you know, lasagna or something like that, and they just pour tons of marinara. I'm not a fan of marinara. I'm just not. Anyway. All right, Cool Cat Crypto. I still have my AOL email account. Wow. You know, I would love to be, I've tried to do this. I would love to recover my AOL Instant Messenger original user handle that I had. I tried to a while back and wouldn't let me because, you know, friends from high school. But in reality, are any of my friends from high school literally going to be on that? Like, let's say I recover it. I mean, realistically, no, they're not going to be on it. They're going to be like, I stopped using that years ago. Like, people stopped using MySpace years ago. All right, let's see what we're doing in the chat. And there's a lot in the chat. I can't believe it's turned into a WrestleMania unofficially. I didn't mean for it to turn into WrestleMania. I always said I want to try to do 2 hours, and then after 2 hours, like a little bit of comments, 2.5 hours at the max. Didn't end up happening. Yes, today was a good day. You know, no barking from the dog, no smog. And Ava Savaju came over on Crypto Twitter and cooked us all an amazing breakfast with no hog. Patrick got his grub on. He didn't dig out. Trying to find a Cool Cat Crypto who I can't remember how it goes now. All right, that frame, let's see how he holds up. I don't know what happened. Pops is a great coach as well. Okay, I'll state this. All right. Even though I'm a Suns fan, okay, I give credit where it's credit's due. If you really, really think about it, Greg Popovich, I would have to say, is the greatest coach of all time in the NBA. NBA's greatest coach of all time. If you think about how he was able to turn teams around to be like championship type teams or to compete, like, yeah. And then they should have totally won back-to-back in 2012 and 2013. Obviously, that didn't happen because of Ray Allen, right? But no, I wasn't rooting for the Spurs against the Heat. I was rooting for the Heat because, you know, Suns fan. You're always bitter. You never forget Robert Horry. Damn you, Robert Horry. You know, instead of damn you, Tom Cruise. Damn you, Tom Cruise. Damn you, Robert Horry. All right. What is this? You can make good sandwiches out of top round. No, you can't. I don't know what kind of sandwiches you're eating. I don't like the taste of top round, period. I tried everything. All right, let me know. You can send it either on here or send me a DM. I don't care. I'm being serious now. How the heck you make top round taste good? I can never get. They just look. But tuna fish right out of the can. Nothing wrong with that. You know, shout to Samo Flood. He does it right out of the can. I saw a picture. Remember, Samo, if you're still here, we saw your pictures, man. sandwich. I make the best sandwiches. I'm telling you flat out, I make restaurant quality grilled sandwiches. Like anybody's ever eaten my grilled sandwiches, like they're like, oh my God. You know, they're always like, oh my God, it's the bomb. Oh, but you start your own restaurant. I'm not going to start my own restaurant. I take pride in my cooking. It doesn't mean I want to start my own restaurant. All right. Cool Cat says, number 1, get a can of tuna. Number 2, open the can of tuna. Number 3, get a fork. Number 4, enjoy. All right. That's cool. I'll call it every week. All right. I'm starting to go through all the comments. What am I, Larry? I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, just cut avocados in half, remove the seeds, salt and pepper. I don't do the pepper. I just do the salt, but I hear you on that. Spoon. Yeah, hoary. Oh boy. Only 2 times a year I can go out and shoot my 12 gauge in the sky and nobody will call the cops. This week is 1. Well, in reality, I mean, hopefully you're doing like birdshot, you know. Shout out to anybody who's a dove and quail hunter. I'll state this. My Mossberg 500 ported barrel, even though I hate how it just makes my ears ring like crazy. I do have to wear a protective hearing now, or, you know, at least a plug, which I don't like because I like hearing the game. But I'll state this. I know we're losing people because Max is not talking about crypto. So my 12 gauge Mossberg 500 ported barrel, right, does help with the recoil, but man, it makes it too freaking loud. I do wish I had the extended barrel, but it does fit me a lot better. It's a 24-inch barrel. And then on top of that, you talk about 12 gauge. So birdshot number 8 load is what you want to go with if you hunt dove and quail, especially if you hunt dove. It just does the perfect pattern. If you do, for instance, just for sport or for fun, clay pigeons. You know, my dad and I, we have a clay pigeon, thrower, pull, shoots it out and so on. But when you do number 8 shot, man, the last time I went out, I'm not trying to, toot my own horn, but I might as well mention it a little bit. 28 out of 30 on the clay pigeons, shooting number 8. Yes. Thank you. Boil it, mash, stick it in the stew. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. What is this guy saying, right? I don't know. All right. Yes, Mossberg 500. You went from Ice Cube to 50 Cent. I did? I guess I did. All right. Oh, nice, River. Nice. My old school single load 20 gauge. Yeah, 20. You know what? 20 gauges are always very underrated. In fact, in the future, I might go with 20 gauge. I could be the type of guy that's like, oh, yeah, man, 12 gauge all the way. Yeah. All right. So not much people here. I don't know if this is even worth mentioning. Maybe I'll just do this anyway if I could chop it up. No, I'll save it for tomorrow because this is juicy stuff. This deserves proper attention. Well, Max, we're proper attention. Cool Cat Crypto talked about how he opens up a can of tuna. He sticks the fork in it. He just eats it right out of the can. He don't mention saltine crackers. That is true. I give credit where credit's due, but probably need to wrap it up. Oh, shoot. We do need to wrap it up. Holy crap. I was supposed to go pick up this kid from his job in 28 minutes, and he's a half an hour. Oh, God. No outro. I got a Mossberg to pump. Oh, yeah. With the slug of a Smith & Wesson Mossberg 500 to pump up. Something like that. 870 is your favorite. Juicy. All right. Yeah, we'll bring you some juicy stuff tomorrow. I'll be with you guys over the weekend. It will not be Larry. You will not be able to enjoy your eggplant. I say it's a half an hour. In reality, I can get there in 20 minutes. It's no big deal. I was going to make a thumbnail, and it was going to be called, he wanted me to call it literally DGen Talk Now. It shows him. Nothing, sick or anything. He said, where you do, I don't want to be holding an eggplant. I said, okay, I won't do that. He said, but you could put an eggplant in the thumbnail. And then I was like, all right, we'll call it like, DGen Talk Now. And then in the thumbnail it said anything and everything, because that's basically what he does. He's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. But he won't be here this weekend because he'll be out with, Lana. you know, or ooh, Larry, ooh, Lana. Well, they're having their ooh time out in Wilmington Beach, North Carolina, which is understandable. I guess he's been working hard and so on. And at some point, hopefully I'll get to that point too, because I definitely need to get back to work myself, being a teacher. You know, I did finish summer school, but I need to get back into the something. My thing is my dad. I hate to use that as an excuse, but oh my God, man, getting hardly any sleep sucks. And then not being able to eat, I got to get something to eat. So I'm finally going to get something to eat after I pick up this dude and bring him home and go from there. But yeah, juicy, keep the eggplant. Tim with the capital J, Brian Dowie, Cash, BSV about to hit 55. All right, that's cool stuff. Tim Shea, I'll probably share what you shared earlier from Brian Dowie that you said was bullish. With that said, know what you hold, know why you hold it. The FUD, or what? That's not how it goes. Know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. Thank you again for connecting. Please smash that like on your way out if you haven't done so already. There might be a deep dive release later tonight. I don't know. We'll see. 4th of July is starting to happen already. I can hear it outside. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. And make sure that you smash the like on the way out. And make sure you also feed your friendly neighborhood Crypto Talk Now Network cat, the one, the only Cool Cat Crypto. Grab a top round. Oh, no. God. No, thank you. That'll be our own little new joke. Instead of Vaseline, top round sandwich, bro. Ugh. No, my luck. I'll go to somebody's house. Hey, Max. Good to see you, bro. Been a long time. Are you hungry? Hell yeah, I'm hungry. Well, you know what? They don't call me Filipino Ice Cube for nothing. Well, you're just in time. I just cooked up a nice, wonderful, dry, that's what it is, dry top round sandwich. Oh, well, thanks. Appreciate that. All right. Sayonara. I am out of here. Cast button, chill. Always Vaseline. Go chill, Max. Turn up the radio. Turn up the radio. Yes. Vaseline. All right. I got to go for real. Let's see how. Well, do I got enough time to get there? I got enough time to get there. Yes. There won't be no traffic. I'll take 43rd and Thunderbird all the way down, and I'm good. No cops, no nothing. Let's go. All right. Peace out.